not going to be again, 10-0 during regular season play. The score 8-0 in favor of Kelowna.
It's early in this game. And at this age group, what you're going to see is a lot of kids to the outside. You want to get one speedy kid who can get to the outside and outrun everybody and get some room. And here we go. We've got a first down right here, big number 30.
Justin Gulbranson, big run here, Tim, down the right flank, and he's tackled just shy of the 35-yard line. So the Vikings get into Kelowna territory.
There you go. And there's that outside running game they talk about. They're not a lot of passing from Vanderhoof today. You saw one quick lateral pass. It's a tough play to make for kids this age because you got to keep it simple. They're young. They're learning. There's a lot of things coming at them once that ball gets snapped. So they're going to be going to the outside a lot and trying to find some weaknesses in that Kelowna defense.
So it's 1st and 10 from the 37, and again a handoff. This time it's a reverse play, and again Bridger Jensen runs to his left and probably back to the line of scrimmage, so 2nd down coming up for Vanderhoof.
And again, you're seeing that sort of orange crush by Kelowna, the Lions, swarming early and often in that backfield. A lot of blitzing. Don't want to give the offense a lot of time to find a rhythm, find a cadence. If you can get that confidence on defense early and maybe shake the confidence of the other team's offense early, it gives you a really solid advantage in a quick 40-minute game with the clock running like we're seeing now.
2nd and 10, Vanderhoof. Caden Young again steps back, and the handoff trying to go up the gut. Maybe we'll gain a couple, but it's not going to be enough for a 1st down. So 3rd down coming up for Vanderhoof.
You're going to see a lot of 3rd down conversions in this, not a lot of punting away. They want to get the kids running and playing the game. They want to get the kids used to making those mistakes, learning from them, building on them play by play by play by play. Punting it away, I mean, it's the safe thing to do. It's the percentage thing to do.
There's a pass right there, and Taden Jacobson incomplete. The intended receiver on the left wing side was number 5, Caden Young. So that time we see Taden Jacobson drop back into the quarterback slot, and then the young number 5, Caden Young, who was playing quarterback the majority of this football game early for Vanderhoof, unable to get that. So it's a turnover on downs for Vanderhoof, and Kelowna will accept the ball from its own 34-yard line with 10 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Kelowna on top 8-0.
But, I mean, that was a nice pass. I mean, he didn't complete it, but, I mean, he was in traffic. He's getting knocked down. He still sent that ball well over 10 yards on a nice spiral. So the kid's got a good arm. But we got a flag on the play here, lateral pass.
Yeah, Wilson Holland to the right.
With a bit of room, enough for the 1st down, but we'll see what I'm guessing it's an offside.
Number 7, Nate Boscheman with that pass as the Lions try to go up the right side of the field, and we'll see. It's going to be offside is what we're told here.
So it's a 5-yard penalty. Well, you'll see a lot. I mean, Kelowna's got a pretty good passing game. Vanderhoof, they say not so much. Part of the issue is helping kids understand, it's against, penalty waved off, 1st down. There we go.
So they decline the penalty, so the Lions will go to work at the 45-yard line, maybe a couple inches shy from that. 9 minutes, 33 seconds and counting here left in the opening half. As again, it's a 40-minute game, 2 20-minute halves here. It's Vanderhoof and Kelowna. The next game, Victoria Outlaws, the Island champion, will take on the Vanderhoof Vikings as Kelowna.
Here we go. Here's the reverse sweep to the outside. He's got room. He's wide open.
And he's going in for the touchdown here, number 83, Noah Gross, untouched as the Lions find the end zone once again on consecutive drives. Number 83, Noah Gross. And just like that, it's 14-0 Kelowna with the point after to come still.
You know, and you talk about quick and on the outside at the PeeWee Adam level that we're seeing here, and this is textbook what Kelowna is bringing to the field right now. A reverse by the quarterback. He comes forward, throws the defense off a tiny bit maybe, and then runs around. So Vanderhoof, really their job to do in the second half at least, calm down their defense, remind them how they got here, remind them how good they are, remind them how strong they are, and just to watch those corners more and really put on the Jets and get that. Oh, we got a bobbled snap.
Yeah, Wilson Holland unable to bring that snap down, so it's no good, the points after for Kelowna, so the score will remain 14-0 in favor of the Lions as Vanderhoof will take possession with just over 8 minutes remaining here in the first half. And we're slowly starting to see the sun coming out here at Hillside Stadium, Tim.
Which is a good sign, because I remember waking up at 5:15 this morning, looking outside and seeing nothing but pouring rain. So the sun will come out, it'll soften up the turf a bit. Some of these kids probably not used to playing on a hard, slippery surface. It is a bit icy out there, especially on the track that you see around here. There's that thin layer of ice. The ball's cold. It's a bit slippery. It's not used to playing this late in the season. Remember, they start playing around Labor Day, so it's still nice and warm. You got to get used to all of these little different factors. You're in a different stadium. You're not sleeping in your own bed. It's all very exciting, but the nerves can also get to kids.
Xander Anderson, a kick that'll go into Vanderhoof territory and land at the 47-yard line as it's picked up by number 50, Drake Westbrook. Now, there is 2 number 50s as you're watching this game on VBN Sports. And Brendan McKee, you don't see this too often. Brendan McKee is the number 50 for Vanderhoof, who's wearing the Red Sox. And Drake Westbrook is the other number 50. So that's how you can distinguish both number 50s on Vanderhoof, who moves from your broadcast right to left, wearing those navy blue with the yellow trim, white helmets, and Kelowna with that very fancy orange. First and 10 for Vanderhoof, and it's over the top there as an incomplete pass was intended for number 50, Drake Westbrook.
And here we got a kid, a quarterback that is about 10 or 11 years old, throwing 30-yard spirals, 20-yard spirals, mind you.
And you were saying earlier.
The challenge is, at this age, is how do you get receivers?
Yeah.
Kids get nervous trying to catch a ball because what they start doing is running before the ball even gets to them. You have to stand there, catch the ball, maybe take a hit in order to get the complete pass. And here we go, a little bit of speed to the outside.
Handoff
nice.
is Caden Young to the running back that swings it out on the left side, so it's brought down at the just shy of center field. Westbrook again.
A nice sweep to the right.
Not enough for the first down, though.
Not enough for the first down, but they still have another down to go. There's going to see a lot of third down conversions, not a lot of kicking at this level. They don't want to play conservative. They want the kids to get the plays in, get the experience going. And the coaches say we got a strong outside running game, which can be tough to defend depending on how fast the opposition defense is.
There's
the drive up the middle doesn't look like it's enough for a first down.
Quarterback sneak there by Caden Young, who calls his own number. And it doesn't look like it's going to be enough, so it'll be a turnover on down. So the Kelowna Lions will go back to work on the offense, having come off back-to-back touchdowns as they found the house with just over 5 minutes left here in a 14-0 Kelowna lead.
Yeah. And, you know, you're going to see a lot of mistakes at this level. The kids, get them used to it, get them going, get them pushing it up the field. Kelowna seems to have a pretty balanced attack here. They've got some really solid defense shutting down the Vikings' running game. And you know, we're taking a kid, look at the shotgun.
Yeah, 21, Wilson Holland in the shotgun. Good, strong throw, and it's completed.
And a nice, beautiful.
Number 82, it's Alexander Mace, and once again, Kelowna's going to find the end zone. Mace all the way. What a great play that was by the Kelowna Lions, as executed by the quarterback, number 21, Wilson Holland, to his left to find Alexander Mace. Back-to-back touchdowns for Mace, and just like that, it's 20-0, Tim. That was nice.
That was a beautiful play. Taking the ball from the shotgun that far out, just drops back. And again, there's the strength of your offensive line. He had tons of time. He's not rushed. He's not panicking. And he's got a receiver who can turn and catch the ball. And that's the challenge at this level. You can have a kid that can throw, and he's pretty accurate, but you have to make sure that the other kid at the other end understands where he needs to be and in motion in order to catch that ball. It looks like we got an extra good 2 points here.
Yeah, that time Holland was able to reel in that snap and have a good one there for Nate Boscheman, who puts it through the uprights. So it's 22-0 here in the opening game of the 2014 9-man BC CFA Provincials from Hillside Stadium. Glad to have you on board. It's Vonnie DeBartolo alongside Tim Amy.
On a beautiful morning here in Kamloops. And thank you very much for everybody from Kamloops Football for hosting us in this wonderful tournament. Just a gorgeous setting here at Hillside Stadium. This is it's just a beautiful morning out here.
Fans below us here, braving the cooler morning, so we'll see how warm it does get as the day progresses here. Again, our next game coming up at 9:30 features the island champion Victoria Outlaws taking on the Vanderhoof Vikings. So it's back-to-back games for Vanderhoof, and it's Kelowna, the only team who gets a rest in between. So we'll see if that plays to an advantage for them as Xander Anderson kicks it off, and it's back to Vanderhoof territory where number 16, Taden Jacobson, will run to his left and is met up there by Nate Boscheman, who drives him back a few more yards. So the Vikings will begin right around center field again here at Hillside Stadium, Tim, and we'll see if they can get their offense going, because so far it's some quick work by the Kelowna Lions to get on the board in the offensive category, that's for sure.
It certainly is. You know, and if I was the Vikings coach right now, I would stick to what works for them. Don't get fancy. Don't worry about passing. The passing's not working for you. The outside seems to be working for you. Pound those corners. Just get yourself a little bit of blocking. You only need 4 to 5 yards per drive. That gets you first down on 3 yard. Oh, look, we've got a flag probably. There we go. Keeps it on the ground, gets a few yards. That's progress. We got I'm guessing, an offside.
Flag in the backfield is the run by Caden Young, number 5 for Vanderhoof, gets it up to the 46-yard line, Kelowna territory.
Let's see how they mark this. Too many players by Kelowna? We're hearing our... Too many men on the Kelowna part.
10-yard penalty. 1st and 10 for the Vikings at the Kelowna 39-yard line.
So there's the penalty call for you. So the Vikings...
Get a break
this might be the closest they've got so far in this football game, Tim.
It's early. And again, on that drive, they kept the ball on the ground, drove it up the middle, got a few yards. You only need 4 to 5 yards per carry, per try. You got 3 tries in Canadian football rules. That's enough for a first down. Don't get fancy. Stick to what got you here. If it's your outside running game, stick to your outside running game.
We're inside the final minute of play here in the opening half.
Speaking of which, there's your first. There's a nice passing play.
Yeah.
Big number 16, who's got some size.
It's Caden Young, the quarterback, to number 16, Taden Jacobson on the left side. So a good passing play completion there from Vanderhoof to get into the 33 of Kelowna with 19 seconds left.
And you've got some size on number 16. He looks like a tall kid. He sort of hovers over everybody else. But what I'm not seeing is a lot of confidence in his strength and ability. A lot of times the one big kid on the team will just pound forward. He'll just push forward. He'll drag kids with him. I'm seeing number 16 here maybe being a little bit apprehensive. When they're starting to swarm, he stops and wants to go lateral. He wants to get away from them rather than just keep driving forward and using his size to push the kids down and just keep driving. You know, if you get 5 or 6 steps with someone dragging you, you're that much closer to your next first down. That's what it's tough to get through these kids. And it looks like they've...
Yeah, that's the end of the first half here, so we'll take a couple-minute break. That last play, number 31, Bridger Jensen, the handoff there from Caden Young, just got to the markings out of bounds, but it wasn't enough for the first down.
And Kelowna, a bit of a recap, they had an 18-yard touchdown run for their first drive, first possession on the game, and then, of course, that big 55-yard run pass and convert for the second. And then the third, they had a lovely 50-yard passing play just to drive that ball in. So a lot of confidence, a good balanced team. The Kelowna Lions talked about being a well-rounded team. They weren't kidding. They got a strong offensive line, giving their offense lots of time to get set up. And the defense has really figured out this Vikings and what they're trying to do on the outside and up the middle, just to limit them to minor yardage, play per play per play.
Interesting note, Tim. Vanderhoof had 210 points for during regular season play and just 43 against, and that's almost half the points already given up all season long just in this game, as the Lions have a 22-0 lead as the second half of this 40-minute game is a few minutes away here from Hillside Stadium, as we see below us in the purple clad, the Victoria Outlaws, the island champion, getting ready for the next game that is set to kick off here from Kamloops at 9:30 a.m. here on VBN Sports.
And I'm guessing those Viking coaches are just talking to their defense and reminding them how they got here. Don't be afraid to run hard, tackle, get your arms around those guys, watch the corners. If they're running to the outside a lot, get your outside linebackers ready for those sweeps and sort of, circle around a bit, cut them off, cut off their running game, cut off their pathways. But those kids, they got here, they're undefeated, they're obviously just a great team, and I'm guessing they're going to tighten things up here in the second half and maybe get a few points on the board to boot.
Both teams just trying to do what has been done all season long, the recipe for success to get them here to the 9-man 2014 Provincials. And as you mentioned, Tim, we've seen that from the Kelowna Lions, as you mentioned, a team that's got a lot of weapons at their disposal, and they're not short in going to that passing game early. And we saw number 82, Alexander Mace, on a quick play there from Wilson Holland to find him, and he goes 50-plus yards on that last drive. So they even got speed, and they can get in behind the defense. So Vanderhoof's going to have to change their defensive tactics a little bit and be weary when that defense is on, because Kelowna can give you a lot of weapons from the offensive line.
And that's, when you have a strong running game, that's one thing you have to defend against. If you have a strong passing game, that's something you got to defend against. When you have both, when you can pass and run at this level, that's very hard for these kids to defend against. How do you set up? How do you get to the kids ready to anticipate both? Because you can run it up the middle, you can do reverses on the sides, on the sweeps, you can pass it up the middle, you can pass it to the side. So it really keeps the opposing team's defense a little bit off balance, always kind of guessing what's coming next. Most of these teams will get one or two fast kids and a good offensive line. They get them to the outside, just get enough yardage every single time just to get that first down.
We have about a minute before we start the second half of this football game, Tim. Why don't we run down exactly what these shootout rules mean as we start things off with the PeeWee round-robin kickoff. Explain to us what we're going to be seeing this morning.
What you're going to be seeing is going to set the kids up on the 25-yard line. Each player each team is going to have 3 downs to try and score. So they can score any way. You can do it on a running play, a passing play, or even on a field goal. So sometimes if the kids you've done your 2, say running passing plays, you haven't gone any yardage, you're on the 25-yard line, they might try for a field goal. You can win the passing, you can win on the shootout 3-0. That's perfectly legit. What we saw last week in Chilliwack with the midget teams, the Nanaimo Redmen tied the game up with 35 seconds left to go, went to a shootout. They tried on a 3-point conversion to win it on the field goal, missed the field goal, recovered by the Giants, who then ran the full length of the field for a touchdown. So there's some gambles you have to take into effect. If they miss the field goal, the opposing team can pick it up and they can run all the way back. But it starts at the 25-yard line, 3 downs, your chance to score. The team that scores wins. It's not sudden death. Each team has that 3-down chance to try and score. Whoever has the most points at the end of that shootout gets it. So it's either going to be 7-3 or 8-7 or whatever. You don't get more than one chance to score.
And we'll be recapping the shootout as the morning grows older. Of course, we still got to get past the round-robin games here as the teams will be reseeded after this. So the team's heading back onto the field here for the second half at Hillside Stadium. Beautiful facility here on the grounds of Thompson Rivers University here in Kamloops.
Gorgeous morning. The sun is coming out. Things are thawing out. Very little to zero wind out there. So that's not messing anybody up. So it's nice that the weather's not playing a factor. They can come out and just play their game, have some fun. A little bit cold for them, but they'll warm up soon enough.
Nate Bolshabin will put the tee down on the 40-yard line, Kelowna territory, and he'll grab the pigskin. So the Lions will be kicking off. Vanderhoof to accept the ball here in the second half, and they need a bunch, down 22-0 in the opening game here at the 2014 9-man BC CFA Provincials.
And I'm thinking the Vikings are going to go back to that formula that got them here. If they've got a good, solid running game on the outside and not that strong on passing, I'm guessing they're going to go right back to that.
Boscheman with a kick accepted by Bridger Jensen, has a little bit of room and decides to go to his
fumble.
left. Fumble recovery there as it popped out of his hands, but he did a good job to bounce back at his own 35. So the Vikings do regain control of the ball, and they'll start from their own territory, 1st and 10 from the 35.
And you saw some confidence on there. That number 31, Bridger Jensen, he's not a big kid. However, he never stopped driving forward. The defensive player comes up, grabs his jersey, starts bringing him down. He just kept driving forward. That's the kind of confidence you need at this level, because kids can come in and it looks like they've got the tackle made, and they don't.
Caden Young, again, that snap bobbled, but it's picked up by Bridger Jensen again. He's Johnny on the spot right there and brought down by a couple of Lions, including number 7, Nate Boscheman. So he's involved early for the Kelowna Lions in helping bring down Jensen again, as the ball is just shy of the 35.
And Kelowna just bringing on that orange crush, just that swarm of defense. Every time someone gets the ball, you're seeing a good 3 players just honing in on that carrier, not giving the Vikings just 18 inches of daylight they need to get that just a little bit of yardage each play.
So it's a loss there for the Vikings, as it's a handoff to Justin Gulbranson, and again, nothing doing there on second down and 11 for Vanderhoof, so it's a 3rd down again situation for the Vikings.
This is going to be a little bit worrisome for the Vikings. Their offensive line just isn't giving the defense, or the offense, pardon me, enough time to get set up and get something going here. Kelowna, not a big team. You look at Kelowna, they're not a lot of big kids out there, but they're certainly fast, and they're focused, and they know what they're supposed to be doing. They know what their job is, and they're executing it beautifully.
So one of the biggest boys on this Vikings roster, number 16, Taden Jacobson, who gets the ball and runs up the gut there to the 39-yard line, almost to the 40, and it's going to be a turnover on down. So the Vikings defense coming onto the field now, as Kelowna up 22-0 with 17 minutes and 40 seconds and counting on the clock here at Hillside Stadium in Kamloops, and we'll see if they can make it 4 consecutive drives, Tim, with the score on the board.
You know what? The way Kelowna is playing right now, I think they're probably going to score early and often on this drive. They're clicking. They're absolutely clicking. Look at all the time they've got in the backfield.
There's the handoff, number 81, J.D. Houston, up the middle, and lands just around the Vikings' 31-yard line.
I'm not sure if that second down, not quite enough for a first down, but again, that's a 9-yard carry on your first play of the game. Kelowna playing with a ton of confidence here. And you see the running back driving forward. He gets into traffic. He just keeps going forward. He doesn't try to sweep right or left or deke around anybody. He just keeps going forward, and you can shake off a tackle, get those few extra steps in, and just get yourself that much closer to the first down. So they're just pushing forward like Patton's Army here, not trying anything fancy, and they're just getting the yardage they need every single play.
Joey Hawarko, number 40, the right-handed strong arm there, incomplete pass down the left flank, as that pass intended for Aiden Vint, number 50 of the Lions. So it's 3rd down coming up, Tim.
And you see him jumping up to try and grab that pass and bring that down. I mean, that's a mature receiver right there for an 11-year-old kid. A lot of times when you're passing, they just don't understand how you have to keep in motion, keep your eye on the ball, and sort of catch it. They sort of stop and wait for it and kind of looking for it. I mean, he knew where that ball was exactly. He got his feet up, got his hands on it, couldn't bring it in, but still a superb effort by the Kelowna.
Joey Hawarko again. This time it's a handoff as the Lions move the ball to the right. Number 81, J.D. Houston again will fall short of that first down. So the head coach, Kendall Gross of the Kelowna Lions, Tim, really getting everybody involved in this football game, isn't he? As we've seen a couple of different quarterbacks already. And is that because they've got a comfortable lead right now?
I think, you know what, they come with a balanced attack, and it allows them that luxury. Mind you, we have a flag on the play here. Looks like it's against the Kelowna. So they're turning it over on down. So there you go. When you have a balanced attack like that, when you have a strong offensive line that allows your offense to make the plays, when you have a defense that you cannot, you're not concerned if you turn the ball over on downs because your D is going to hold them. It gives everybody a lot of confidence. It gives everybody a lot of time to set up and keep in their rhythm and keep in their game. Vanderhoof, the Vikings, don't have that luxury right now. Their offensive line's running into a bit of trouble because they can't seem to keep defense at bay, give their offense enough time, and when they do get on defense, Kelowna comes with just another swarming attack.
Early movement by the Lions, but Young doesn't call for it yet, and now it's a double handoff, and it ends up in the hands of Brendan McKee, number 50. McKee running to his right, finds center field, passes the 50 into Lions territory. Great run there by number 50, Brendan McKee of the Vikings.
There you go, and you know what? The offensive line held them just that second longer to give them just that much time to set up that play, and now they're using that outside attack that got them here.
So it's a great run by Brendan McKee. So it's first down inside Kelowna territory. And Tim, is this really when you have to start looking at the clock and you got to wonder, you got to start putting some points up as we're less than 14 minutes remaining, and it's at least a 3-possession game here for the Vikings?
Well, you know what? I wouldn't worry about the clock so much. I would worry about, don't worry about this game because you're not going to, unlikely you're going to get 22 points to take it.
Great handoff fake there as Caden Young calls his own number and swings it out to the right side, pushed out of bounds right in front of the Lions bench, and brings the ball to the 37, maybe 38-yard line in Kelowna territory.
What I would worry about if I was Vanderhoof right now is just finding the rhythm again. Don't worry about if you're going to win the game or not. You've got a second half to find your rhythm. You're going to get your confidence up. You got another game immediately following this. So if they can get into a rhythm for this game to score a couple of touchdowns and maybe not win the game, but get their offense going, that gives them some confidence going into the next game. 2nd
and 3 here for Vanderhoof as they push it forward. It's going to be enough for the first down, so this drive will continue.
There you see. Now Vanderhoof, they're finding their confidence. They're getting their legs. Their offensive line is stepping up. They're giving them some time. They can take this confidence and carry it into the next game, carry it into the shootout. So I think for Vanderhoof, as the coaches, that's what they're worried about. Don't worry about this game so much. It's only the first game. You're not going to get eliminated. If you lose, fair enough, but get some confidence that you can carry over into that next game because Kelowna's the one with the bye.
1st and 10 on the 33. And with the ball, it's Tate and Jacobson again looking for an option. Can't find anyone and is wrapped up there by the duel, number 45 of the Lions, Chris Henderson, along with number 60, Morgan Scott, as they bring down Tate and Jacobson. 2nd down coming up, Vanderhoof.
And they try to get a little cute there with a handoff and then another passing play. You know what? You just ran 2 reverses, 2 running plays that got you 2 first downs. Stick to that. That's what you're good at. That's what got you here. So
2nd and 12, they say here on the board, on the 36. Jacobson again looking, and a right throw is incomplete. Almost picked off there, Tim. Intended receiver was number 31, Bridger Jensen.
They had the secondary was just all over that play. They had one player. I saw one purple player and about 4 orange players on that play, and that was a pretty dangerous play. That could have been a turnover right there.
So we'll see what Vanderhoof does here. 3rd down situation. It's 3rd and 12 from the Lions' 36-yard line.
If I was them, I'd try and go one of those reverse plays and get it to the outside once again.
Jacobson's going to keep it again. Pressure coming, and he's
Fumble.
knocked down. Fumble recovered here by the Kelowna Lions. The lone man back is number 5, Caden Young, and he's not going to get to it. And is this Mace again bringing it in for a 3rd time this morning? I believe it is. Number 82, Alexander Mace, as he runs into the shadows here at Hillside Stadium. The sun not quite covering the entire turf here, Tim, but we can certainly see the speed being showcased there by the Lions as they quickly come off the line and put pressure on Tate and Jacobson.
You know, I appreciate what Vanderhoof is trying to do. They want to mix and match and try and keep Kelowna off with a variety of plays. It's not working for them. Stick to your running game. Why did you get here? What got you here? You've got a very balanced, fast team against Kelowna. You just got a couple of first downs on some reverses. I would say stick to that, but then again, it's easy for me to stay standing up in a nice warm booth with my hands in my pockets. And
yeah, well, sometimes you got to look at the situation as well, and what are you getting from the Lions? And as we see Holland's set plays, he holds it again for Nate Boschman. The kick is outside, so it's not good for Kelowna. The score remains 28-0. So 2 attempts at the extra 2-point conversion from the kick by Kelowna fail, but Kendall Gross, the head coach of the Lions, not too worried about that because he's got to like what he's seeing from his team in the opening game of this 2014 BC CFA Provincials as his team up 28-0. Just mentioning what Vanderhoof is looking at, Tim, and on that last play, the defense is certainly not helping them out, are they? Or the offensive line there, as Kelowna's attack is just coming right through and they're putting that pressure on.
I don't think the two players swarmed that quarterback. I don't think anybody even laid a hand on them. I mean, the ball was snapped and they were there. I mean, they were the second the ball snapped, they were over the line charging the quarterback on that shotgun play. And you can't score points if you don't have time to set up. It's impossible.
Xander Anderson, the kicker for the Lions, picked up by Bridger Jensen in Vikings territory, and he swings it out to the right, steps out of bounds at about the 48-yard line. We'll see where they officially mark it, or should I say 43-yard line, as we're just in front of our broadcast booth here. 8 minutes, 35 seconds left here in the second half, and a 28-0 Kelowna Lions lead.
Kelowna has got this game pretty much locked up with about 8.5 minutes left to go. So I think they're just going to stick to their game plan. They get to be run, pass, probably get a bit more points on the board. Their defense is showing a lot of confidence right now. They're certainly fast. And they're already set up on that side, ready for that sweep.
There's a handoff, number 30, Justin Gulbranson for Vanderhoof.
Seems the Kelowna defense read that play even before the ball was snapped. They were completely set up on that left side, or on that right side, pardon me.
So they're good at anticipating as well, is what you're saying, Tim.
Certainly it looks that way, judging by what's gone down the past couple of plays, and certainly by the scoreboard. They're reading the Kelowna, or the Vanderhoof offense extremely well, and just keeping them completely off balance.
2nd and 9 from the 44, Vikings territory, and a pass is picked off at midfield. It's number 7, Nate Boschman, and nobody's going to catch him as well. Boschman down the right side, and it's another touchdown for the Lions, as unable to catch him was number 31, Bridger Jensen, the lone man back for Vanderhoof, and it is all Kelowna this morning here in the opening game of the Provincials, with just over 7 minutes remaining in this one, and already up 34-0. So, Tim, almost in one entire game, the Vikings, who come in having only given up 43 points all season long through 10 games, Kelowna's knocking on the door just to match that in this game.
You know, and Kelowna is just showing an absolutely brilliant attack. I mean, that was a superb interception. Number 7 just read that play absolutely perfectly. It was almost like he was the intended receiver. He received it so well. And you saw how he caught it in motion. He wasn't standing around waiting for the ball to come to him. He charged. He saw the line. He saw the path. He charged right into that line in the laneway and just grabbed it perfectly and didn't even break a stride. He caught it mid-stride and just kept going. Absolutely impossible for Vanderhoof to do anything on that play.
Extra points for Kelowna are no good once again, so that is a part of their game that hasn't been ticked off with a grade A, as it was blocked there by number 66, Fred Nelson of the Vanderhoof Vikings.
It's not hurting him in this game, so as long as you keep getting those majors, you can give up the odd 2-point convert without showing any real damage to the bottom line.
Number 92, Xander Anderson, on your screen will have the ball on the tee from the Kelowna 40. So Vanderhoof again, good kick again.
Nice
and
kick.
It's picked up by Tayden Jacobson.
He's got
with
a bit
some
of
room.
Yeah, nice play, nice recovery, nice kick return by number 16 there. How he jumped up, good form. He had his line set perfectly, got that ball, and just started running and did absolutely beautifully.
Brought back to the 44 of Kelowna territory. 5 minutes, 15 seconds left in this one. Kelowna's going to go 1-0 to begin the PeeWee round robin kickoff portion of this 2014 nine-man BCCFA Provincials.
And you're going to want to see Vanderhoof score at least one touchdown to end this game. That would give them a lot of confidence. There's a great run right up the middle by big number 16. Maybe not enough for a first down, but pretty darn close for an opening drive.
Taden Jacobson with that run as he brings it just shy of the Lions' 30. So they're getting closer, but they haven't really pushed past that threshold of the 30-yard line. Certainly haven't brought it to the red zone, that's for sure.
They certainly haven't, and they really need to get there. And just, again, it's all about confidence at this point. They can score a touchdown late in this game. It gives them some confidence going into the next one.
It's 2nd and 1,
Nice
and it's
snap.
a bad snap for Vanderhoof. Unfortunate there is Caden Young unable to get his hands on that, and it's going to land for a loss. So they're going to push it back to the 40-yard line. 3rd down for the Vikings.
And that hurts. I mean, they had a great drive, about a 9-yard drive. They're inches away. And that's, you got to give credit to the Kelowna defense. It's forcing them to take that ball from the shotgun that maybe their snapper isn't quite that ready for.
Young with a handoff to Bridger Jensen, and he gets out of bounds. It's going to be good enough. Did he get to the sidelines where the first down marker was, Tim, or did they turn over the ball? I think they turned over the ball. They needed 6 yards.
Yeah, they turned the ball over on downs there.
So the Lions offense comes back onto the field. 34-0, Kelowna Lions leading the Vanderhoof Vikings with 3 minutes and 20 seconds left in this opening game.
You know what? And the Vanderhoof coach right now, they're looking at their team saying, guys, don't worry about it. Forget about it. Forget about this game. Put it behind you. You had a bad game. You got blown out. Big deal. It happens. We're going to go for the next one. That's where you can use a lopsided score like this on the losing end to your own advantage. In that you didn't lose a tight one. There's big number 7. Look at the speed on this kid on the outside.
Joey
Look at that
Hawarko,
move.
the handoff to number 7, Nate Boscheman down the right side, and he cuts in, and again, they're making it look easy here. Boscheman runs it in, his 2nd touchdown of the game, and just like that, it is 40-0 for Kelowna. We keep saying it, Tim. They make quick work of the offense. It's one play, and bam, it's in the end zone.
That kid has got some great wheels. You see that lateral move to split the – we got an injured player down for the Vikings here. To split that defense, he had 2 players locked in on him, and he just weaved between almost like an S-turn just between the 2 of them. And they were completely flat-footed and had nothing. I mean, Nate Boscheman, if I'm coming from Victoria here, I'm looking at number 7. He's the guy I need to stop.
So they've stopped the clock here as they do for every injury. 2 minutes, 48 seconds left in this football game. The Victoria Outlaws, the island champion, are awaiting to play their first game of back-to-back contests. 9:30 a.m. is the scheduled start, so in about 9 minutes from now, there's not much time in between games, that's for sure, as Vanderhoof will be on short rest as they look for their first win in the final game for them in the round robin coming up against the Victoria Outlaws. And we'll talk more about them as we get closer to game number 2 this morning, as we have an injured player. I'm not sure what number that is, as we can't see from here. Oh, that we can see from the Red Sox, it's number 50. Brendan McKee down and up on his own as he's walking back to the Viking sideline. So good to see him back up on his feet.
Probably just got knocked back and willing he hit the turf right in the square of his back, maybe knocked the wind out of him. Yeah, they have to sit out for 3 plays when they get injured like this. A bit of a break, let the kids sort of catch their breath a bit. He's walking off. He's a soldier. He's a warrior. He's doing just fine.
So Wilson Holland will take the snap and set it on the tee here. And it's going to be a different kicker, it looks like this time. We'll see if this one proves to be true for the Lions.
And he got it through. Good for him. Great kick. Wasn't the best snap, but they certainly they placed it perfectly. Just enough English on it to get it through those uprights.
Noah Gross, it looks like, number 83 from our vantage point here. As again, we're looking through a little bit of shadows in the end zone. Yes, it was number 83, Noah Gross. So we see him put it through the upright. So officially now 42-0. And again, Kendall Gross, the head coach of Kelowna, certainly mixing his lineup up and getting everybody involved in different aspects of this football game, isn't he, Tim?
He certainly is. You know, when you look at Kelowna, where it's situated in terms of population, there's probably a lot more competition for the Kelowna team than there is for, say, Vanderhoof, which, of course, is a smaller town, further north, more sparse population. So Kelowna used to probably playing against a lot of bigger teams, a lot more competition down in the Okanagan, as opposed to Vanderhoof up in the north. And I think maybe the exposure to that kind of competition. And look at that, number 5, just a superb run on that kickoff.
Caden Young gets about 15 yards as he accepts that ball off the kick from Xander Anderson and brings it back into Kelowna territory. And they're going to be marking this at the 37-yard line in Kelowna Field. So 65 seconds and counting left in this football game, and we'll see if Vanderhoof, who gets one more kick at the can put up any points against this solid Lions defense. There's the snap, and again, it's Taden Jacobson brought down, so short of first down conversion there.
Aiden Vint, the offensive lineman for Kelowna, is factoring in just about every single tackle I can see here. They've got such a fast team. They give Vanderhoof zero time to set up. And I know I've been saying this the whole game, but it's the story on the defense. They're quick, they're fast, they swarm, and they give Vanderhoof zero room to maneuver.
Loss of 1 yard on that last play is the high snap, bobbled again by number 5, Caden Young, but recovered by the Vikings. And just like that, within seconds, a trio of Kelowna defenders quickly wrapping him up, and in the thick of things, number 85, Nicholas Kemp.
And you saw that play by Bridger Jensen, textbook running. Always keep your feet moving. He had guys swarming him, and his little feet, legs pumping like pistons, trying to keep himself propelling forward. Didn't get any yardage on there, but he's obviously listened to his coach. He's obviously coached extremely well, and he did everything he was supposed to do in that play. But, you know, when you've got 5 kids in orange uniforms swarming at you, you're just not going to go anywhere.
Final play of the football game, loss of 5 yards on that, so it is 3rd and 16 as the Vikings will take the final snap here.
Nice snap.
And here's number 16,
number
Taden Jacobson. Again.
Look at that, number 50, Aiden Vint with Kelowna, breaking through that offensive line and just giving them zero time to set up and let that ball go.
So that'll wrap up this opening game of the 2014 9-man BC CFA Provincials from Hillside Stadium. Final score, Kelowna Lions 42 and the Vanderhoof Vikings nothing. Vanderhoof will stay on the field, and they'll wait for the Victoria Outlaws to take the field here as we continue on with the PeeWee round robin kickoff. And we'll be back momentarily with the introductions of both the teams in Game 2 here on VBN Sports. It's Vonnie DeBartolo alongside Tim Amy. It's the final stage of the 2014 football season for three teams who are looking to be crowned provincial champions. The Vanderhoof Vikings representing the BC CFA North. The Victoria Outlaws come in as the Island champions, and closer to home here in the interior, the Kelowna Lions rounding out the interior champion. All three teams finished their respective campaigns with perfect records, having never suffered a defeat. Well, this morning we saw the first one, Vanderhoof losing 42-0. More on that in just a moment. A good Saturday morning to you, and thanks for joining us on VBN Sports for the 2014 nine-man BC CFA Provincial Championships from Hillside Stadium in Kamloops. My name is Vonnie DeBartolo alongside Tim Amy. The opening game of the 2014 Provincial saw the interior champion Kelowna Lions make a big statement in these provincials with a 42-0 victory over Vanderhoof. The Island champion Outlaws boarded a ferry of the interior after a 48-20 victory over the Victoria Spartans in an all-Victoria final. And now the Island champion Outlaws will play their first round-robin game against Vanderhoof, who comes in on short rest. Color analyst Tim Amy, your quick thoughts on that opening game.
Well, what we saw was just a fantastic balanced attack by Kelowna. I mean, what a team. Fast on defense, superb on offense, a brilliant passing game, and they can run and pass and tackle. And Vanderhoof, I think, is going to have their hands full, because what I'm seeing here with Victoria is going to be some quick defense and a smash mouth style on the running game.
Jackson Reed, number 52, with the kick that ends up at the 25-yard line in Vanderhoof territory. And it's Bridger Jensen, number 31, moving laterally to his right, taken down at about the 27, maybe we'll see where they officially mark the ball here.
Around the 26, 27-yard line. Around, yeah, it's sort of dead between, so we'll say the 26.5-yard line.
We'll see where they officially mark it here. So it's first down on the first drive of this game for Vanderhoof. And coming off of short rest, is there any advantage to that, playing back-to-back games, Tim?
I wouldn't say for Vanderhoof right now. They got beaten pretty soundly. They have to shake it off. They just have to forget that last game even happened. And once again, remind your team how they got here.
Our eyes are deceiving us in the early stages of this game. It's actually on the 33, so first and 10 on the 33. The handoff to Taden Jacobson, and wrapped up quickly, but broke a tackle. And a second one as he moves out to his right, steps out of bounds. A short gain there for number 16, Taden Jacobson of the Vikings, as they go to work early on the ground game.
And you see the coach has obviously talked to him about that confidence in driving forward. He didn't try anything fancy there. He was swarmed by the defense, because this coach has probably turned to him and said, look, you're going to get a lot of more pressure than you guys are used to on that defense. Just keep pushing forward. It's like D-Day. You hit the beach, don't look to the side to see who falls down. Just look forward and keep going. So Taden Jacobson showing a lot more confidence on that carry than he did the first game against Kelowna.
Minute and 40 seconds expired here in the opening half of the football game, and the handoff was a fake by number 5, Caden Young. And he's quickly met up by a bunch of purple-clad Outlaws. Victoria in their opening game of this 2014 BC CFA Provincials, the purple uniforms with the white buckets.
And I was talking to the Victoria Outlaws coaching staff prior to the game. They talk about a fast, strong defense. They like to gang tackle. You saw that from Kelowna. So now Vanderhoof sort of knows what they're going to be facing, so they have to make the adjustments in order to burst through that swarming attack. The last play, they bobbled the snap, and I think they obviously threw their play off.
3rd and 15 as Vanderhoof kicks the ball away. So first time we've seen that all morning for Vanderhoof as they kick it away on 3rd down, and it's picked up by Hudson Poppet, number 18, on your near side of the screen. Good run for Poppet, and a good tackle there by the Vikings, number 16, Taden Jacobson, as he brings down Poppet at the 33-yard line.
And Poppet had some pop. Geez, what a run. What great legs. Not a big kid, pretty small, but talk about speed.
Yeah, you can definitely see the size advantage that the Vikings have in this game, don't you?
They really can. I mean, the Vikings, they're a bigger team, but, you know, bigger isn't always better at this age group. You need speed. You got to be fast. If you have a couple of quick players who can get to the outside, you can beat outsize any time.
There's the quarterback, number 20, Caden Ryder, and a
Wow.
handoff. It's number 43, Cole Bunting, and right up the gut and down the middle, finding the end zone. And just like that, on the first drive of the game for the Victoria Outlaws, it's a major for them, and it's continuous nightmare for the defense of the Vanderhoof Vikings as they give up the early points in this one, 6-0 in favor of Victoria.
I don't think Vanderhoof is used to speed. I'm looking at the Victoria and the Kelowna team. They're super fast. I mean, they have a great power running game for the Outlaws. They call it smash mouth, as a matter of fact. And I just don't think Victoria is used to that kind of speed. Maybe they're okay on size, but when you get quick like that, they're not sure what to do.
Caden Ryder's unable to put it through the uprights for the extra 2 points, so the score will remain 6-0 in favor of the Island champions.
Yeah, and it looks like Vanderhoof has their hands full with another fast, balanced attack. An offensive line by Victoria that gives their offense lots of time to set up. They're not rushed. They're not panicking. They've got a good game plan that they're able to stick to, and that's going to be a handful for our kids out here from Vanderhoof.
Not taking any chances on that third down conversion. We saw them kicking the ball away to midfield there. Probably didn't see that in the first game because they had a chance to maybe write their own script a little bit more, because it wouldn't have made a difference the way the score was going for the Kelowna Lions.
Exactly. You don't want to kick that ball away too much because you want to keep your offense moving and working on those plays that you practiced. But then at the same time, you don't want to give up field position. And I think Vanderhoof is going to start playing a little bit more conservative now.
Jackson Reed, strong kick into Vanderhoof territory, picked up by Bridger Jensen at his own 30, crosses the 35 at the 40, and he's still going and brought down just shy of the 45, and they may mark it at the 44-yard line. Bridger Jensen, number 31 for the Vanderhoof Vikings, and that's where they'll begin their second drive of this football game with 14:40 to go and counting. 6-0 Victoria leading.
And again, Bridger Jensen showing just textbook practice play on the running. Don't stop. Keep looking forward. Keep running. Don't worry if some kid gets your hand on you, grabs you. Just keep running. Give him a spin. Can always get a few more feet, get a few more yards, just get your team that much closer.
1st and 10, Vanderhoof at their own 45. Snap and the handoff.
We got a flag
Jensen
on the play. Dude.
Trying to go for Brendan, or make it Drake Westbrook that time. It's a fumble recovery by the Outlaws, and we'll see. You mentioned the flag down on the play, and we'll see what the actual call will be.
Serena Brooks recovered that ball. But we have an offside on the Outlaws.
So an offside to the Outlaws brings that fumble back, and that's a big break for Vanderhoof. Gives them a nice extra 5 yards they would not have had. And I bet you Victoria's kind of kicking themselves a tiny bit on that.
Number 21, Serena Brooks, had that football. But with that penalty, just shy of midfield, there's a high toss. Number 30, Justin Gulbranson, moves laterally to his right and brought down there.
And you're seeing a lot of speed on that Victoria team. It's going to be interesting to see Victoria take on Kelowna because they're bringing two very balanced attacks. The Victoria Outlaws boast a lot of good team chemistry. Everybody gets along. Everybody knows their role. A power running game, smash mouth as they like to call it, and a fast, strong defense. Not big, not a big defense, but as long as they've got some speed and they know how to tackle, then you've pretty much, that's 90% of the game right there.
2nd and 7 on the 48 as they push through closer to the first down, just shy of the 45 as the Vikings get into Victoria territory. Not going to be enough for the first down as they position it just shy of that 45-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down and inches.
And a nice little quarterback sneak by Vanderhoof there, and that's the kind of thing I think they need to stick to. Keep it on the ground, don't keep it fancy, push it up the middle, hit the sweeps, and you just get that little bit of yardage each and every time.
So what are you going to see here, Tim? A 3rd down conversion. Are they going to stay with it or kick it out?
Oh, they're going to stay with it, and I bet you they're going to try and drive it right up that middle.
It's going to be the big man, number 16, Taden Jacobson,
There
going right through. You called it.
You got it. Perfect.
lands at the 42, maybe the 41. We'll see where they officially mark it, but Taden Jacobson does the job for the Vikings, moves the chains down the sidelines, and it'll be first down for Vanderhoof.
And a nice little play there. You got about a foot to go. That means you need a mere 13 inches to get the first down. Don't move. Don't get fancy. Just move it up the middle. And you know what? Vanderhoof in that last game against Kelowna, they had some success up the middle. So I'm willing to bet they're going to see a little bit more of that in this game right here. And sure enough, they try and drive it up the middle on that next play right there.
Yeah, it doesn't go much further as they had it originally marked on the 41. It's now at the 39, so a couple of yards gained. There's the fake pass by Taden Jacobson, but beautifully read by the Victoria Outlaws defense. Second down and 8 to go. Ball on the 39 in Outlaws territory. Quick handoff again. It's a double handoff.
Nice
and it ends
reverse.
Up in the hands of number 31, Bridger Jensen again, and wrapped up, and loss of yards here, big time for Vanderhoof.
And number 55, Jackson Stapley, the inside linebacker for Victoria, just got through that offensive line. And I think really we're seeing the Achilles heel for Vanderhoof here is that they don't have a strong offensive line. They're having trouble containing speed. Not a lot of size in Kelowna or on the Outlaws Victoria team here, but they're fast, and Victoria is having a lot of trouble on that line.
The officials indicating for the time to stop on the clock, and it does. And it reads 10 minutes and 13 seconds here at Hillside Stadium.
Oh, we got a timeout.
So we mentioned the rules here, and in terms of timeouts, each team will receive one timeout per half in a 40-minute game. And we see the first one of this football game here at Hillside Stadium, located on the Thompson Rivers University grounds, as it's turning into be a gorgeous day here in the interior.
Absolutely, beautiful day. Interesting, Victoria is the one that calls the timeout. They're the one the lead, but obviously the coaches are seeing something they didn't like, want to settle their players down with third and about, what are you saying, about 15 or so there?
Third and 13 on the 45. So the Vikings will get back to work here, needing 13 yards to continue to move the chains, and we'll see what they can do. Jacobson handoff is bobbled again, and
dead ball.
A dead ball.
Turnover on downs.
Tough play there for the Vikings, so nothing going right for them in the early stages. Victoria will take over possession at their own 48.
But you know what? I'm seeing that defense coming on. They're low five in each other. They're still showing some spirit, still showing some chemistry. You know, that tells me the kids are still having fun regardless of the score. And that's honestly, that's what you want from football at this age.
We talked about it off the top of the show, Tim. This is certainly something that each boy, everybody, boys and girls will remember is coming to the Provincials. Here's a drive again and an open lane for the Outlaws.
Oh,
Great
nice.
trip there. It is
number 30, Justin Gulbranson,
great
the linebacker. Just a great touchdown-saving play. Got enough of the kid's ankle to bring him down.
20-plus yard run there by the Outlaws offense as they bring it deep into Vikings territory.
And Victoria talking about their smash-mouth power running game. Again, driving it like a nail from a hammer right up that middle.
Caden Ryder, number 20, quarterback for the Outlaws. A quick handoff to the right. The run is by number 43, Cole Bunting. Short gain there. If anything, it's second down coming up.
Defensive lineman Breckett Fawcett for Vanderhoof breaking through there, reading that beautifully, and just a great tackle to deny them yardage on first down. I like his socks. Number 35, Brecken Fawcett. He's got the striped socks. That's old school. I like that.
That's good.
It's like the black stuff under the eyes. Looks cool.
Ryder this time will hold himself and carry to his left. He's got a blocker, number 55,
nice
Jackson
block.
Stapley, and he's going to carry it in for the touchdown. Caden Ryder, number 20, and a great block there by Jackson Stapley inside on the left flank.
Just beautiful block on that play. If he doesn't make that block, that touchdown doesn't happen. And again, we see the power of a really strong offensive line, allowing the offense to score.
12-0, second touchdown of the game by the Victoria Outlaws with the points after to potentially come here. And a great hide of the football by number 20, Caden Ryder, who's going to be taking this kick for the Outlaws. Snap is down. The kick is good.
Looks good. Nice kick right through the uprights.
14-0 is your score here from Hillside Stadium in Game 2 of the 2014 BC CFA 9-man Provincials. Hillside Stadium, of course, home to the BC Lions training camp.
And the Kamloops Broncos football league, football team of the BC Junior Football League. And you're seeing flashes of brilliance from Vanderhoof every so often as indication why they got here. Little plays here and there on the running game. We just saw a great play by number 35, Breckett Fawcett, on the defense to deny yardage. But they just can't seem to put the whole thing together for one full drive to stop or score themselves. And it's going to be a little bit disappointing for the coaching staff and some of the players. But you know what? These kids are I still see a Vanderhoof team having a lot of fun here. So you know what? They don't care about the scoring. At the end of the game, they got to go on a road trip down to Kelowna and play in a nice big stadium. And that's pretty exciting.
Anytime you can leave home and play your favorite game, it's
sleep in a hotel.
2 thumbs up. Yeah.
Maybe with a pool.
Not homemade food, just eat out. It's great times.
It is. Look at this. Number 31 still on his feet. Fantastic triple effort there. Look at him go.
He's going to come to the 40-yard line to the 35 and brought down by number 21.
Bridger Jensen.
Serena Brooks in there as well.
Never say die, Jensen. Boy, he's having a great game for Vanderhoof and showing, again, flashes of brilliance. Why Vanderhoof got here undefeated. They're a good team. Maybe a little weak on their offensive line, but they have some parts in there that can really make a game exciting. And that was just a fantastic drive by number 31. He just refused to give up and refused to go down. It just kept running and running and running until they brought him down about the 34-yard line.
Vision is one of the things that Bridger Jensen has, and you can see him get quickly out of the pressure pocket and get to the outside. 1st and 10 at the 34. High snap brought down there by Caden Young. Calls his own number through the gut and tripped up at the 30-yard line, so maybe a 4-yard gain there for the Vikings.
Nice run by number 5. He broke off that one tackle. They're sort of anticipating now that they're going to be breaking through early and they don't have a lot of time. So he broke through it nice in the first tackler, nice and a nice move, and just kept pushing forward. Didn't go lateral, went straight up the middle, got that a little bit of yardage they need to get them that much closer to a first down.
Inside the final 5 minutes of this opening half, 14-0. Victoria Outlaws leading. It's 2nd and 5 for Vanderhoof as Taden Jacobson avoids a tackle, avoids a second tackle, swings out to his right, gets to the 25-yard line, still going, and is finally brought down. We'll see if it's out of bounds or not, but this is the furthest that the Vanderhoof Vikings offense has gotten in 2 games so far.
You know what? And he had to do all the work himself. He had 0 blocking there. But Taden Jacobson, a big kid who's got some speed, just needs to remind himself of that sometimes. Takes that snap, runs a good 10, 15 yards to the first down, and that's exactly what Vanderhoof needs to do. Just get those first downs. Doesn't have to be pretty, doesn't have to be flashy. Just keep getting first downs. Eventually, you will get to the end zone.
1st and 10, Vanderhoof at the 20-yard line as they try to put up their first points of this 2014 Provincials. Jacobson's fake handoff and a good read there by the Outlaws defense as they quickly wrap him up and bring him down at about the 20-yard line, so maybe got back to the line of scrimmage, Tim.
Yeah, it looked like there's a little bit of confusion in the backfield there. May have supposed to have been a handoff, may have been a fake. Weren't exactly confident on there, and they stopped for that split second, giving the Outlaws just enough time to get to them and sort of break the play up. So
2nd and 10,
boom.
Drop ball again.
Looks
and
like it's recovered by Victoria.
Loss of yards for sure, and no, they're going to still retain the ball. Almost picked off there by Shimel Brooks, number 10 of the Outlaws, but it'll bring up 3rd down for Vanderhoof with 3:08 and counting remaining here in the first half and a 14-0 Victoria lead.
And Vanderhoof deep enough in Victoria territory that they're certainly going to go for it on third down here.
There's the handoff again, and Bridger Jensen wrapped up there by a couple of Outlaws. 55 is Jackson Stapley. So a turnover on downs, Tim.
And there you see the speed of Victoria. Not a big defense, but a fast defense. And they just shut down that running game on third down when it mattered.
2.5 minutes on the clock here.
And that Victoria offense, fast, smash mouth, right up the middle, a good power game, is setting up once again. And I'm not expecting anything too fancy here. I'm expecting a handoff right up the middle.
Ryder to number 43, Cole Bunting, who runs down the left and is met up by a Viking, but breaks through that tackle and then is brought down at the 35 by number 33, Oren Albertson of Vanderhoof.
And what you're seeing from Victoria, that you're not seeing from Vanderhoof is blocking on the run. They've got good blocking on the offensive line to give enough room for that backfield to charge it up the field.
2nd and 1. Ball on the 35. Outlaws territory. Handoff Ryder up the middle. It's good enough for a first down. Number 12, Bo Nevermont.
And you're seeing the Vikings quarterback taking it from the snap, not from the pistol, not from the shotgun, right from the snap. That shows a lot of confidence in your offensive line that you don't need that extra time to get things set up and going.
So they've moved the chains. Outlaws going to work at their own 42-yard line. And in the shotgun, Caden Ryder. High snap. Throws to his right. It's incomplete. The intended pass for Malik Gagne, and number 3 on the Outlaws. It brings up 2nd down.
And there's the danger on the shotgun at this edge. You're not going to get a nice clean snap every single time. Snap was a little bit wobbly, and her quarterback rushed it a bit too much and got off a wobbly pass. He had a man open, but simply couldn't connect.
So they're asking for the clock to stop here in the first half, and it will at 27 seconds.
And it looks like we got Victoria and Vanderhoof.
Timeout.
Vanderhoof calling a timeout, as they trying to get set up and organized and figure out a way to stop this Viking attack.
Again, it's 2 40-minute games, split in half. This opening half is all Victoria so far as they lead 14-0, and each team does have a timeout each in their arsenal, and we've seen the last one of this first half be used up. So 2nd down here for the Outlaws.
Setting up from the shotgun once again, so maybe we're going to see a passing play.
The last one was intended for Malik Gagne. We'll see if they go to the right side of the field again. It'll be number 20, Caden Ryder, in the shotgun. Lots of time. Throws high.
Whoa, slippery ball. Slippery ball.
Indeed. He had lots of time there too, Tim.
He certainly did. And you know what? It's warming up, but it's still a bit damp out there. And I'm thinking the ball's a little bit slippery. Your kid doesn't have a really big hand to get all the way around it. Didn't have a good grip on that. You saw the past two passing plays. Not a lot of confidence in his arm. And that's why I think they go with that smash mouth running game right up the middle. But just a gorgeous morning out here.
So this will bring up 3rd down.
There you go. Wow, what a pass. Oh, beautiful.
Complete. Number 43, Cole Bunting. And as time runs out here on the clock, as the Outlaws get just past midfield on that 3rd down conversion, a great pass by Caden Ryder.
And there's the end of the first. That's a turnover on downs. Despite that wonderful pass, just wasn't enough. Wasn't enough for the first down.
They needed about another yard, maybe.
Yeah.
So we'll break for 5 minutes.
Catch a breather.
Come back. You've got a scoring summary to tell us about in a couple of minutes, Tim. as we've got a 14-0 lead in favor of the Island champion Victoria Outlaws here in the second game of the 2014 9-man BC CFA Provincials from Hillside Stadium. Back in just a moment.
Community Football and BCCFA President's Council. Also, like to thank our volunteers, our junior Bantam football players that are doing our security. Also, our food truck. Right now, it's Eats Amore with their breakfast, and I just gave you the look like that breakfast croissant looks pretty good. Bacon, egg, and cheese, along with a coffee. Can't beat that. So. And also the Kamloops Football Community Council.
Welcome back to Hillside Stadium here in Kamloops. Vonnie DeBartolo alongside Tim Amy as we are about 60 seconds away from the second half of this football game. 14-0 Victoria as Tim will get us up to date on what happened in that first half.
We saw two good running plays on behalf of the Outlaws. Number 43, Cole Bunting, charging it in for the first touchdown, followed up by Caden Ryder with a second running touchdown. Victoria boasts a good power running game. Smash mouth, up the middle, nothing fancy. They got a strong offensive line. They're fast. They got a good backfield. They tried a few passes on that play. They converted on one. But their running game, their ground game is definitely it. And they showed that nicely against the Vanderhoof Vikings so far in this first half.
Glad to have you on board here. Thanks for taking some time out of your weekend and allowing us to be a part of your Saturday morning, as this is the second game of a day of football here from Hillside Stadium. The first game was all Kelowna Lions, 42-0 over the Vanderhoof Vikings. and the North champion Vikings playing their second of back-to-back games and still looking for their first points of these 2014 provincials.
I'm just wondering if Vanderhoof, being sort of a northern, isolated maybe community, they don't get a lot of competition. Maybe that undefeated record is a result of that. I just don't see a very strong offensive line, enough to give their team enough time to set up on their offense and push it through. We've seen some components of it. Bridger Jensen was a great running game, keeping his legs pumping. Big number 16, Taden Jacobson, showing some life also, but just not a balanced enough attack to get it right into the red zone, let alone the end zone.
Victoria, who represents the Island coming into their first of the PeeWee Division round-robin games, as they will stick around after this and take on the Kelowna Lions, and then of course they'll reseed after that, and we'll begin the shootouts to determine of course who will be the 2014 PeeWee Division champion.
And here we go, we're getting set up. A nice-looking Victoria team so far. They bring a similar balanced attack that Kelowna did. Maybe not so solid on the passing side, but they've got a good offensive line. They've got some nice, fast defense going. And they're showing it with a 14-0 lead so far in this game.
If things continue to go the way they are going here, the next game will determine who gets the top seed and the bye. So potentially it could be 3 games in a row for Victoria. We'll see if that happens or not, as we're just about set for the second half, as Jackson Reed puts the ball on the tee. From the Outlaws 40, Reed with the kick in the backfield that's picked up there by number 31.
Bridger Jensen looking for some room on the outside. He's got some speed and he's got some skill. And look at him go.
Down the right side.
Still on his feet.
Going into Kelowna territory, or Victoria territory, all the way in. He might have got to the 20 or 15. We'll see where they mark it. That's the best run of the football game right there, and it's by the Vikings, number 31, Bridger Jensen.
And if you notice, he got some blocking on that play. The lineman showed up on the special teams. They gave him just enough room, that 18 inches of daylight that all he really needs just to push it forward. And I think that's the Achilles heel, really it is, for Vanderhoof. They're not getting the blocking from their offensive line to give their offense the room to get up the field.
They marked the ball on the 15, so a hefty gain by the Vikings, and they'll go to work here. 1st and 10 on the Victoria 15, as the handoff there is brought down by Justin Gulbranson, and he's wrapped up there by number 7, Luca Bolzanello of the Outlaws.
You know what? I'd love to see Vanderhoof get a touchdown here. It'd be great to see them get some points on the board just to say we scored. They've yet to do it so far in the game and a half they played so far in this early tournament.
Second down. Not needing too much here for the chains to move, and we'll see if they may have got the first down on that one, as number 52, Jackson Reed, bringing down the Vikings. Was it Jensen again there, Tim?
Yeah, it looked like it was Jensen one more time. We've got 3rd and about 8 in this drive, so they've got some ground to make up if they want to get it close enough. And I'm guessing they're going to keep it on the ground and try and pound one of those corners just to get as close to that end zone as humanly possible.
Tatum Jacobson to Gulbranson and right to Bridget Jensen, and again read nicely by the Outlaws, and it's number 21, Serena Brooks. So that'll end that play.
And you're seeing good tackling by Victoria. They're not going for the high on the opposing players. They're going nice and low around waist level, around leg level, getting their hands tightly around those uniforms, swinging them around, dragging them down, not giving them any chance to sort of break free and just keep pushing forward.
So a turnover on downs sees the Outlaws begin from their own 14-yard line. And Reeder calls his own number, swings out quickly to his right. Look at the speed here by Caden Reeder to the outside, passes the 40, gains center into Vikings territory, cuts all the way across the field. Is anybody going to touch him? Caden Reeder at the 30, at the 20, and he is going to bring it all the way in for another touchdown. Yes, as he just got tackled at the last moment, Tim, but what a run there by number 20, the diminutive Caden Reeder. And with just past 3 minutes of the second half, 20-0 for the Outlaws.
And you saw excellent blocking on that play. I mean, Victoria, it was a swarm of purple by about midfield, cutting off the laneways for Vanderhoof, and it was almost impossible to even get a hand on him as he charged up that field. And he found the laneways. His team was ahead of him. There was just a wall of purple shutting down the Vikings' defense. And again, it all comes down to time. You give the offense enough time, they can do amazing things with the football.
The extra points no good there, as it was a high snap, unable to be corralled there. So the score stays at 20-0 for Victoria as they continue to march on here in this football game. And I love the cut to the inside by Caden Reiter.
Absolutely superb. And I mean, look at all the space he had. I counted at least 5 of his teammates pounding open that pathway for him and giving him enough room in the lane just to charge on that cut.
I mean, he did a backwards S.
Yeah.
And it was from his own 14. So that was a long run there by Caden Reiter. And as mentioned, tripped up right on the goal line, but was able to punch it through for the third touchdown of the football game for the Outlaws.
If we were in the States right now, he'd be on the sideline getting oxygen. It was that long a run for him.
So it's Jackson Reed again from his 40. Vikings to get the ball as we approach the 5-minute mark of this second half. The ball bounces just shy of the 35. It's going to be tracked down by Bridger Jensen, and he's just going to flop down on that football.
That's a smart play. He had to turn his back to the defense in order to recover the ball, so you just don't know what's coming up behind you. So he made a good play there just to play it safe, dive on the ball. Don't try and be a hero. Just keep the ball in team possession. Oh, we get an injury on the play.
Customary for both teams to take that one knee down when there is an injury on the field. That's going to automatically stop the clock, and it looks like they're going to officially mark the ball at the Vikings 24.
And, you know, we haven't seen a lot of injuries. This is only the second injury timeout we've seen in this game, which is nice. Now, kids aren't getting hurt. They're playing hard. It means they're tackling clean. They're not driving anybody. They're not playing dirty. They're not blocking from behind. Not a lot of penalties, not a lot of flags in this game either. So a good, clean tournament to open up this wonderful day of football way up here in Kamloops.
Hillside Stadium situated on the grounds of Thompson Rivers University.
Just a beautiful setting.
It is the training facility in the off-season for the BC Lions, where they hold training camp each and every year for the last number of years, and also home to the Kamloops Broncos.
The BC Junior Football League. We saw a lot of the Broncos out here today working the 50-50, helping out around the stadium, keeping people off the field.
It's Hudson Poppet, the injured Victoria Outlaw, who gets up and is walking pretty well on his own steam, being helped off there to the Outlaw sidelines. But good to see Hudson Poppet bouncing right back up.
And he'll sit out for 3 plays as per the rules when you get injured before he comes back. I'm sure he's just fine.
So Vanderhoof football at their own 24. It's 1st and 10. 20-0, the score, favoring the Island champion Outlaws. As in the shotgun is Caden Young. And again, a handoff to the inside left. It goes to Bridger Jensen. Breaks one tackle, but doesn't get much yardage after that.
And big 52, Jackson Reed, not fooled by the swarm. Oh, we got an injured player on the play here. It looks like number 1, Jonathan Pye for Victoria. But number 52, Jackson Reed, you looked for a second there as though the defense had shut down that running game, and he didn't give up, just kept charging towards the play and prevented extra yardage on behalf of Vanderhoof by heads-up defense.
Looks like Jonathan Pye is grabbing the upper left leg hip area. So as he gets some attention, we'll mention to you that our third game this morning comes your way at 10:30. The Kelowna Lions taking on the Victoria Outlaws. So it's the island champion Outlaws that'll have short rest, as the Lions, who are coming off a 42-0 victory earlier this morning against Vanderhoof, is set to take the stage in the third and final game of the round robin before they reseed the teams, and the two lowest teams will begin the first shootout. The winner of that will take on the highest ranking team.
And it looks like Victoria got the luck of the draw on this, or not Victoria, pardon me, Kelowna. They had a great game against Vanderhoof to start. They get a nice break. They can kind of relax, regroup, do a little team building, have a bit of fun. And then Victoria, who came the furthest from everybody, ironically enough, right back into the second game against what's going to be a very solid, balanced Kelowna attack. I'm wondering if Jonathan Pye maybe got cleated right in that tailbone. That's smarts. It looked like he was grabbing either his hip or his back there.
He's on his feet and being escorted off the field and walking on his own, so good to see Jonathan Pye back up and moving to the Outlaw sidelines. It is 1st and 10 on the 24, and the ball for Vanderhoof down 20-0 here in the second half with 13 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in this football game.
And number 24, Jacob de Jong Millet, coming out on behalf as the sub.
Tatum Jacobson looking and pressured right away and brought down by number 21, Serena Brooks. So again, he's not getting much help from the line in front of him, Tim.
No time on that play to do anything at all. He had absolutely no time.
So as we see him drop back here, there's no coverage there as Serena Brooks is allowed a free lane, and she almost ripped the football right out of Jacobson's hands, but it's a major loss here for the Vikings as it now brings up 2nd and 20 at the 13-yard line.
And they're having a tough time here, coming all the way from Vanderhoof, getting swarmed by defense after defense after defense. And here's hoping they get something going on 3rd down.
Timeout on the field, it looks like.
Certainly, you don't want to give up that kind of field position if they can just pound it up and maybe get that 1st down.
So this game on VBN Sports, glad to have you on board. My name is Vonnie DeBartolo alongside Tim Amy, Wayne Price, Wayne Bjorg, the VBN crew working feverishly as things are continually being set up here in press area.
Working hard both on and off the field to bring this wonderful tournament live to you online in a gorgeous morning here in Kamloops. So I was a bit worried when I woke up about 5:15 this morning to get all organized. It was pouring rain outside, but the rain's gone away. We have beautiful snow-capped peaks around us, gorgeous warm sunshine.
Clouds are coming down onto us here. We're high up here.
We're high up here. We're above the clouds. We're in the heavens.
I mean, we're high up on
It's
the stadium,
football.
but the stadium
It's
is high.
Football. It's football heaven here.
All right, we're set to go here. 2nd and 20 for the Vikings. High snap is just going to be kicked out by Tatum Jacobson. Pardon me, it's 3rd down. It says 2nd. I'm reading the scoreboard, but it's 3rd down there for Vanderhoof. And good field position for Victoria.
Somebody got a hand on it on the kick, and I'm wondering if Vanderhoof recovered. No, Victoria recovered, pardon me.
So it's going to be thrust forward by the Outlaws with great field position.
1st and 10 about the 23-yard line, and that's not what where the Vikings wanted to give up that ball. I'm sure they wanted to get it much further up the field than that.
13-22 and counting.
And Victoria setting up with that balanced attack. They like it running it up the middle. They've had no problem scoring doing that, and I can't see them mixing things up and getting fancy here.
Caden Ryder again to his right. So the handoff is carried nicely for a little bit of a gain. We'll see where they mark that. Number 43, Cole Bunting, who had the opening touchdown of this football game.
And number 30, Justin Goldbrinson for Vanderhoof, making a nice tackle there to shut him down. about 3 yards in.
Second down. Couple of yards gained on that last play by Victoria. Ryder again. A handoff. Bunting with some room to his right is going to get in behind the Vikings defense and inside. Another touchdown again for the Outlaws. A short run there. Beautifully executed by number 43, Cole Bunting. Second touchdown of the game. And it is all Outlaws in this game now as they up the score to 26-0.
With just 12 minutes left to go. And again, we've said this the entire game. Lots of room, lots of space. Barely anybody got a hand on him on that play, and he just basically powered his way into the end zone. Vanderhoof can tackle. They've done it. They when they get set up and they get in the right position, they can tackle, and they can do it. But they just haven't been able to put it together for enough series of plays to shut people down and get some offense on their own. Whoa.
We're going to redo the snap here.
A little bit of confusion on there. Here we go.
Caden Ryder to make it 28-0. We'll see if he can do that. And it's not going to be good, so it'll stay at 26-0 in favor of Victoria.
Still a very comfortable lead for this Outlaws roster as they head into the last 10 or so minutes in this game.
So is there anything that Vanderhoof can do? What do you see in their game right now?
You know, I'm seeing small individual things. I think they have to look at what have we done good so far. They've had a couple of good returns on the kick. They've had a couple of good runs up the middle. Try and put all that together, one little package, and just do it, 4 or 5 yards at a time. Don't try and get fancy. Don't try and pass. But it's tough, when your offensive line just can't hold back that defense. You're asking your kids to suddenly have to think on the fly, and maybe they haven't had to do that all season. When the pressure's on, it becomes quite the challenge.
So can you maybe change your offensive tactics a little bit and get that snap and maybe a quick pass to go over top of that charging defense that's coming at you and maybe create your own space ahead of you?
Maybe you can. I would try and basically set up on one side and just get some blocking, just get some room just to get that 4 or 5 yards per carry.
Bridger Jensen brought down by Luca Bolzanello just shy of the 35-yard line in Vanderhoof territory. So the Vikings go to work here with 10 minutes to go in this football game. 26-0 for the Island Outlaws.
What I would try and do is get the running backs in on the blocking, to give room for the quarterback. So get it from the snap. Build your own laneway, just enough room to get around, and again, just get those 4 yards of carry that you need, just to inch towards the first down each and every time. Don't try and do anything too cute.
1st and 10, handoff Jacobson to Caden Young. Again, the duel of Young and Jacobson. Jacobson took the snap, didn't get anything that he liked, quickly back to Caden Young, and a couple of yards gained on that will bring up second down for Vanderhoof.
Vanderhoof needs to figure out some blocking to get some offense going. They're not going to pass the ball. They're not going to get a big play. Just enough blocking to get inch that ball up each and every play. And they're not getting set up. I mean, the other teams they're too fast, and they're not giving them enough time to get organized. Here
Jacobson to Young, and he thought about throwing, and it's back to Jacobson, but they're going to say that the ball was down. So nothing doing on that play. So it looks to me, Tim, that just the game's not moving quick enough in the eyes and the mind of Vanderhoof. It's just it's too slow of a game for them. And we saw it with the Kelowna Lions, and we're seeing it again here with the Victoria Outlaws. It's too quick, and they're not responding.
They're not. It's just the other teams are just coming in too fast with a lot of numbers early. And here we go. Look at them punching through. Well, they got some blocking. Oh.
Caden Young, the intended receiver there, was number 31, Bridger Jensen, and he was covered by Caden Ryder in the 40-yard area.
And you saw he gave him a nice block on big number 94 right up the middle there. Gave him just enough time to get the ball off. A perfect play. Couldn't convert it. Unfortunately, the receiver didn't catch it. But again, the offensive line, just with a few extra seconds, they give him some time to plant his feet, to find his receiver, to get rid of that ball. And that's all you really need to do. But, of course, it's got to connect on both ends. Easier said than done.
We're not seeing any straight arm of that line every time Vanderhoof does have the football. So it is a turnover on downs, and it's Outlaws football at the 31, and it's Caden Reiter, pardon me, a run to his left. Good block there by Jackson Stapley. And just like we saw earlier, it's a touchdown for Caden Reiter with a first assist going to number 55, Jackson Stapley.
And it's a Reiter bunting backfield for the Outlaws. And if I was Kelowna right now, I'd be writing those numbers down and talking to their defense and letting them know these are the guys you're going to have to try and stop if you want to win against this purple team.
So Caden Reiter with the carry into the end zone, second touchdown of the game for him.
And again, some superb blocking on behalf of Victoria to give them the room to get her in.
So the score now 32. Well, they're going to bring the touchdown back, Tim, as they call, looks to be a holding penalty.
Oh, that's going to hurt.
We didn't take the official call there, but so it's not going to be a touchdown by Caden Reiter, so they're going to do it again. So first down, 1st and 10, ball on the 31. Reiter, handoff, bunting up the middle, finds a bit of space, cuts back in, cuts back out, and pushes off number 50, Drake Westbrook. And this time, this touchdown will end this drive. And that will count. 26-yard touchdown run there by Cole Bunting, his second touchdown of the game.
Beautiful run up the middle and sort of cuts through that laneway, gives himself enough space, sets up enough of blocking on his own with a nice straight arm move to hold off the Vanderhoof defender and just enough to get her in.
Might stand corrected. Is that number 3 of the game for Bunting?
I think it is, yeah.
The points after are no good as the kick by Caden Reiter is blocked. So the score reads Victoria 32, Vanderhoof nothing with 5:28 and counting on the clock.
And a really balanced attack coming in from Victoria here. They get the blocks on both the defense and on the offense. And that's why they're able to put the points on the board and keep the points off the board. It's going to be interesting to see Victoria take on Kelowna in this third game.
And this third game will come your way immediately following this second match of the 2014 9-man BCCFA Provincials from Hillside Stadium in Kamloops. Glad to have you on board, VBN Sports.
And you see the coaching staff for Vanderhoof standing on the sidelines, clapping and cheering their team on, letting them know that, you know what, we're still proud of you. You guys are a good team. You're a great bunch of kids. Just make sure they have fun. You know what, come all the way down here in the big bus ride, staying in hotels, eating in restaurants, maybe hitting the swimming pool. Make sure they have some fun.
Jackson Reed with the kick picked up by Jensen at his own 25 and brought up the right flank, brought down just shy of the 40-yard line, maybe at the 38, 39. We'll see where they officially mark it. That's where Vanderhoof will go to work.
Looks about the 38-yard line in Vanderhoof. You know, let's try and get some blocking. Let's try and get some laneways. Let's try and just get a few yards every single carry and see what we can do. Don't give them a whole heck of a lot of confidence on this, but it'd be nice to see them score before the clock runs out here. Let them get a touchdown on the board.
It'll be tough sledding for the Vikings, that's for sure. They've got a long way to go, and they've showed some character when down. And again, here's a fumble, and we'll see if they've recovered it back or if the Outlaws have fallen on it. But no, it is Vanderhoof football, so they've recovered again. And they've dropped a few balls in the opening couple of games, haven't they?
They have, and you know, you're going to see that on both teams. They're trying those reverse handoffs under a lot of pressure, and kids get nervous. They sort of start panicking a little bit, and they rush it a little bit too much because they don't want to get sacked. But, you know, it comes down to blocking, and you have zero time. There's very little you can do.
2nd and 13, Vanderhoof. It's picked up here by Caden Young. He's going to run his own number to his left. Young's got the first down and more as he crosses the 50 into Outlaws territory. Good run there by number 5, Caden Young of Vanderhoof.
And there you go. He had some room. He had some time. He had room to move. Look at this, some great blocks there on behalf of his teammates. And look at all the room that he had. It's absolutely superb. And that's exactly what Vanderhoof needs to do to just keep marching the ball up the field. It wasn't a pretty play. It wasn't a complicated play. It was actually the same kind of play Victoria has been doing the entire game. Get up some blocking, get some laneways, just move the ball up the field.
Riley Jackson and Caden Ryder, the duel to bring down Caden Young. 1st and 10 at the 49.
And he's got some size and he's got a bit of speed, so we haven't been seeing not a lot using him too much in this game.
Bridger Jensen this time takes the snap. He's going to run it on his own wide right, has room. He's got the first down and more. Jensen deep into Victoria territory, maybe at the 30 or just shy of it. Great run, great back-to-back running plays by the Vanderhoof Vikings, Tim.
And you know what? They got some blocking. Look at number 16 coming on up, running with them. They've got, I see just as many gold jerseys as I do purple jerseys on that play. And again, it's about opening up laneways and just giving those speedy players in the backfield room to move. And suddenly Vanderhoof's doing that, and they've had 20 yards on 2 carries.
1st and 10. Here's Young. Carries again. He's got room. One man to beat as he cuts back to the inside, and he's brought down by Scheimel Brooks, or he would have been home free in the end zone there. So executed perfectly once again by the Vikings, and they're knocking on the door for their first points of these provincials, but they are running out of time, and we'll see what they can do here. 1st and 10 as a quick snap is thrust forward again and tackled in the thick of things with Serena Brooks, number 21 of Victoria.
You know, they're taking a 1990s Buffalo Bills no-huddle offense into the dying seconds of this game. They're just grabbing that ball and they're going with it. They're not wasting any time setting up or calling plays or getting organized. Give him the ball, and there he goes. Oh, we got a flag on the play.
2nd and 5 as they move it forward again, and it's not going to be enough for the first down. It'll bring out 3rd down, but there is a flag.
There is a flag on the play, and they're getting very, very close to that offensive zone.
On the Outlaws, so that'll move it up half a distance to the goal.
So offside against Victoria, they're going to move even closer to the end zone here. 23 seconds and counting. And I don't think they can stop the clock, can they, Tim? They've already used their timeout.
They can't. They can't stop the clock, but what they can do is just punch that ball in. They've been doing quite well in short yardage. Look at that.
Taden Jacobson moving forward again and stuffed by the defense of the Outlaws. This is going to bring up the final play of this football game.
And I'm willing to bet the officials give them that final play. I don't think they're going to call it before the ball gets snapped.
Here it is, a quick snap again, and they're not going to do it. They're going to be brought down.
Oh, they got it.
Oh, they did get it. It is.
There you go. Vanderhoof scores their first touchdown of the tournament.
So close.
Such a great drive for that team. They've got to feel really good about that.
Well, there you go. You got to see some excitement there on the Vikings bench as up the middle went Taden Jacobson. It looked like he was going to get wrapped up. There was a circle of purple, but he did break that threshold.
And we got an injured player on the play. You know what? And that's a really good play to make in the dying seconds of the last game before you go to the shootout. Superb. Just absolutely superb.
So 32-6 in favor of the Victoria Outlaws.
And it looks like the Victoria head coach is out there talking to the officials. He's pointing at something. I'm not sure what he's talking about.
We'll see. It's not going to make a difference nonetheless. This football game is going to go
like
in Victoria's favor, so they're going to remain on the field and get set to take on the Kelowna Lions.
It looks like maybe the Victoria coach was a little bit upset that the clock had run out and they let that last play go. But, you know, I can't see the officials with a bunch of...
Yeah, you can still play off the clock.
You can still play off the clock in Canadian rules, yeah. And, you know, you're up by 32 points. I mean, they score 6. It's not going to break your team spirit by any means. Well, good for Vanderhoof for getting a touchdown there, and that gives them a bit of confidence going into the shootout. All they need in the shootout is to basically one touchdown. That's all they need, and they can win in a shootout. So good for them.
So it's not quite over yet here, Tim, as I'm just looking out onto the field. They do have a chance to put up a couple of points, it looks like, as both teams are making their way back onto the field. The scoreboard has been wiped out, but now it's back.
And it looks like we got an injured Viking on this, lifting up his right shoulder. Maybe he's nursing his rib cage a little bit. So probably in that dog pile on that final touchdown, he maybe got a cleat or a helmet right in the rib cage. Number 16, Taden Jacobson.
First convert of the 2014 Provincials for Vanderhoof. And it'll be number 30, Justin Gulbranson, that'll be going forward. Who's going to be taking the kick? It's either going to be him or Caden Young.
Let's let them get set up here. We'll have an answer for you in about 30 seconds. Not even.
Are they even doing the kick? They're going to go for it.
They're going to run in for the single point rather than try and kick it for the 2, which actually is kind of a smart play to do. No, he's getting set up to kick. Here we go. Number 5.
He's decided. 2 points is better than 1.
Yeah.
So it will be Caden Young, and it's not going to be kicked off. So again, the speed by Victoria to jump off that line. So your final score, Victoria 32 and Vanderhoof 6.
And what a great time for Vanderhoof to score their first touchdown of the tournament, the dying seconds of their last game going into the shootout. So good on Vanderhoof. They had an absolutely superb drive. They earned every one of those 6 points. And I hope we see a little bit more of that in the shootout coming up in just a few minutes.
Final game of this PeeWee round robin kickoff comes your way momentarily, and it's the Kelowna Lions and the Victoria Outlaws, both teams undefeated, to see who will get first, who will get the bye, the highest ranking, and we'll reseed the teams after that. Tim Amy and Vonnie DeBartolo will be back with you in just a few moments here on VBN Sports, the 2014 9-man BCCFA Provincials from Hillside Stadium in Kamloops. Welcome back to Hillside Stadium in Kamloops. Vonnie DeBartolo alongside Tim Amy getting set for Game 3 of this 2014 nine-man BCCFA Provincials. And it's the top two teams so far that we've seen through the opening couple of games. Both teams undefeated. It's the Victoria Outlaws taking on the Kelowna Lions. The Lions opening up with a 42-0 victory over Vanderhoof. Meanwhile, Victoria just wrapped up its first game with a victory over Vanderhoof. 32-6 was the final in that one. So these two teams will round out the PeeWee round robin division, and they'll be reseeded after this, Tim. The winner of this game, of course, will get the top seed. So potentially we might see Victoria having to play 3 games in a row should they not win this game.
It's a possibility. I have to say, looking at the way Kelowna attack came on early against Vanderhoof, I'd have to give them the bit of the advantage. They have a very solid, big, fast defense, as fast as Victoria's, and they have a passing game. So I think those two elements is going to give Kelowna, the Lions, just that little bit of an advantage over their purple counterparts from the island.
The shootout portion will commence after this game is over, and those shouldn't take too long to decide our final here in the PeeWee round robin at Hillside. We remind you, coming up after lunch, 12:30 is the approximate kickoff time as we move into the Adam division here on VBN Sports and the 2014 Provincials. It's Victoria moving from your broadcast left to right, wearing the purple uniforms with the white lids. Kelowna in that bright orange uniform moves from your right to left, and Kelowna will get set to accept the football here in the first half as Jackson Reed, number 52 for the Outlaws, puts it on the tee at the 40-yard line. And we are just about set to go here as the officials give the indication to Jackson Reed. The kick is good in the backfield. It'll be picked up by number 81, Jaden Houston. Has some trouble picking up the ball on a couple of occasions, and this time Tim decides to just jump on the ball there. It better be safe than sorry.
I think that's Jaden made a very good, wise decision there. You can see he was a little bit frustrated with himself when he finally did get up, slapping his own knee, shaking his head. What the heck just happened there? But he's got a great team behind him, so I don't think field position is going to be too much of an issue for this Kelowna team. I'm wondering, though, Victoria, if maybe they're not a little bit tired after that really big run-and-gun game against Vanderhoof just a few moments ago.
So Wilson Holland, number 21, the quarterback for the Lions, will go to work from his own 22, the opening drive of this football game between the Kelowna Lions and the Victoria Outlaws. The first handoff is to a speedy Nate Boscheman quickly to the outside. Boscheman gets in behind everybody, and just like that, he's not going to be caught. He's at the 40, he's at the 30, at the 20. This will be a touchdown for the Kelowna Lions, and just like they showed in the first game against Vanderhoof, the opening drive touchdown, the Lions put up the first points of this football game just 1 minute and 9 seconds into the first half. It's already 6-0 Kelowna.
And you're seeing a really rested Kelowna team against maybe a slightly tired Victoria team. Nate Boscheman with some absolutely superb speed, and they just couldn't keep up with him. He absolutely took off.
So the 2-point convert to come here. The kicker will be the man that we just said, Nate Boscheman.
No rest for the weary for Nate.
Flag on the play.
Somebody went offside, I guess.
Outlaws.
You are correct, Tim.
It's an offside on the Outlaws.
So that'll push the ball further ahead, make it easier for this 2-point convert.
You know, it's interesting. Neither team, neither Kelowna nor Victoria, did all that great in 2-point converts in their game against Vanderhoof. That could be the deciding factor if they convert.
Holland holds, and the kick by Boscheman is no good.
No good. It's interesting. I'm wondering if indeed that comes back to be the game late in this game, the lack of ability to convert on those 2-point conversions.
Well, right now Kelowna's got the early lead and they are in somewhat of control in the early stages. It's catch-up time for the Victoria Outlaws. Two teams that are undefeated going head-to-head here in the final game of the PeeWee round-robin portion before these three teams will be reseeded, and the highest team will await the shootout winner of our next game.
And I'm interested to see how Kelowna sets up against that smash mouth, drive up the middle offensive style of Victoria. Are they going to shut it down? Are they going to force Victoria to maybe go to the outside more? It'll be interesting to see how Victoria adjusts to a very speedy, very good Kelowna defense.
Nate Bolsheman, the kicker for Kelowna.
Nice
good
kick.
Low, hard kick up the gut. It's going to be picked up by Luca Bolzanello at his own 15-yard line. Turns with it up the middle, decides to steer his way to the left, switches the ball into his right hand, and is brought down at the 16-yard line. Good little return there from Bolzanello.
That's in around the 36-yard line.
36-yard line, sorry.
I mean, you're off by 20 yards. You know, if that was actually a great run back by Bolzanello. Showed some great speed, some great poise. Looked for an opening, found it, and got some pretty good field position for his team there.
So it's 1st and 10 for the Outlaws at their own 36. And Caden Ryder, number 20, who had a big game for the Outlaws, a quick handoff to Cole Bunting up the middle, trying to steer his way to the outside. He loses the football, and it's recovered by Alexander Mace of the Lions. So Kelowna regains possession of the football inside Victoria territory. Tough break there for the Outlaws, Tim.
The Outlaws got to be heartbroken on that. They had some great yardage. They pushed it right up the middle, stuck to their game. They had the blocking, and that ball just popped out of his hands. And, of course, the Orange Crush was there to just dive on it. The Lions pounced.
So 1st and 10 for Kelowna, and we'll see if they can make any hay of their first opportunity here after leading 6-0. Second drive of the game for Nate Bolsheman and Wilson Holland.
There you go. That's a nice swarm of purple jerseys in the backfield. Not showing any tired, not showing any weariness. And Victoria just punched through to deny them yardage there. I mean, that's a loss of yards for Kelowna. That's the first time in this tournament they've ever even seen that.
So nothing doing there for Wilson Holland, and the offense will bring up 2nd and 10, or maybe 2nd and 13. 3-yard loss, as you mentioned, Tim. So they move it to the 48.
And I was worried that maybe Victoria was a bit tired, but they didn't show any signs of that on that play. So I'm going to see a good defensive battle here. Oh, we got an offside.
Yeah, early movement by Kelowna.
Early movement by Victoria, drawing Kelowna offside.
So it's procedure, and I believe it was Dylan McBratney, number 62.
Sets up a 2nd and 18 for the Lions. I don't know if they're going to be too discouraged by that. They've shown a pretty balanced attack so far. Let's see what they can do.
They break off the huddle. Wilson Holland, number 21 for the Kelowna Lions. Snap and a handoff. And look who it is again, number 7, Nate Bolsheman. This time goes to his left, trying to get around that corner, gets past Ryder and tripped up nicely there by Jackson Reed, number 52 at the bottom of your screen.
Jackson Reed a little bit hurt on that play, but he saved a touchdown. I mean, that was just a great diving, sprawling dive at his ankle. And I'm thinking maybe he got a heel up around the chest or throat area. He's in a little bit of pain there.
Take a look at the replay here. Good run again, bottom of your screen. Nate Bolsheman avoids that first tackle and not quite that second tackle. And you wonder maybe if number 52, Jackson Reed, may have landed awkwardly on that arm of his, maybe rolled the wrist or something. You know, of course, you don't want to speculate, but it was a nice tackle there by Jackson Reed, and he's getting some attention right now on the field. 13:28 to go here in the opening half of this football game between Kelowna and Victoria.
And look at the way Kelowna readjusted on that play. They went right side on the first play, lost some yardage, of course, got the penalty in the next play, but then quickly went left side and set up their defense to open up a laneway. And, of course, Nate Boschman with just absolutely fantastic speed made a short work of that Victoria defense, getting the first down and getting to the 30-yard line. But, again, a good tackle by Jackson Reed. He doesn't make that tackle. Boschman's in the end zone, so good on him.
For the second time in the football game, as he had a 65-yard run earlier on. So on his feet is Jackson Reed. Good to see him walking on his own to the Outlaws sidelines. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Lions. And the ball on the 30-yard line inside Victoria territory.
And normally the red zone, we talk about the red zone being at the 20-yard line, but with this Kelowna offense, that 30-yard line pretty much becomes the red zone for this team. They're just absolutely superb.
Wilson Holland. Handoff.
Nice reverse.
Number 83. It's Noah Gross. Stops and looks for some room and steps out of bounds as he's forced out by Caden Ryder of the Outlaws.
Not a bad yard, but not a bad run, but not a lot of yardage. I mean, you ran about 10 or 15 yards in order to get just 2 yards on the carry. So,
they lost a little bit of time and space when they did that handoff, and then, of course, it was a good read by the Outlaws to quickly bring him out.
The Outlaw defense really did a great job to keep them in the backfield. I mean, he was running a lot, but they didn't get a lot of room up the field. So, good job, Victoria.
2nd and 8, Kelowna from the 28. Wilson Holland again. This time he's going to keep the ball. He's looking for an option pass, and the pass is good as it was brought down by, can't see from our vantage point here.
We'll see what they do in the replay. Not enough for a first down, but a nice play, though. Number 21 for Kelowna, the quarterback with a good arm, and the ball's dead as the player caught it right on his knees and went face down.
Is that Tarek Brown, number 34?
It looked like it could have been Tarek.
Yeah, Tarek Brown. So 3rd and 3.
Wilson Holland with a good arm. He had his man. He nailed him dead on in the chest. So
5-yard gain for the Lions. Here's a toss, and it goes into the backfield for Noah Gross, who thrusts forward for the Lions, and they're going to move the chains down. It's good enough for a first down and more, Tim.
And Noah Gross, number 83. We haven't seen a lot of him in the first game. Who needs Nate Boschman? Wow, what speed. That was an absolutely superb move. Little lateral moves there, just enough to get the first down and more. They've got just a fantastic attack here.
So the ball positioned on the 14-yard line. Lions knocking on the door again. 11:25 and counting here in the opening half in a 6-0 Kelowna lead. Wilson, Holland in the shotgun, and he's wrapped up.
Nice. Big number 43, Cole Bunting, and number 21, Serena Brooks, breaking through that offensive line to bring the Kelowna quarterback, number 21, Wilson Holland, to his knees.
He had some time. He had some time, too, didn't he, Tim?
You know what? In the secondary in Victoria pretty much took all that time away from him because he was looking to pass and he had no one to throw to, giving the offensive line enough, the defense enough time to get in there and sack him. So a good spread out team effort by Victoria to shut down that drive.
Luca Bolzanello, number 7, in there as well. So there's the handoff to number 34, Tarek Brown, and again, nothing doing for Kelowna.
Victoria showing some defense, absolutely superb. Great.
So it's number 43, Cole Bunting, who comes up large for the Outlaws.
And that was a huge, look at that. I mean, now it's 3rd and about 18. Victoria defense bringing it. Good on them. Not a big team, but a fast team, and they're using their speed effectively to get to that backfield.
Kelowna's going for it here. The toss by Wilson Holland to Nate Boschman, trying to use those wheels to get to the outside. He still has it, cuts back to the middle. Boschman is going to be brought down. Short of that first down. Well short of that first down, so they've turned the ball over on downs, and Victoria will take over in their own territory.
And I still give Kelowna the advantage in this game because they do have that passing attack. They have a good, fast defense. But Victoria is not going to make it easy for them. Victoria is showing up here on their defense. And if they can get a couple of points on the board, it's going to be a very interesting game.
Luca Bolzanello in there one more time with teammates on the defensive side of things to help turn the ball over. So the Outlaws go to work on the offense. 9 and change to go here in the first half. 6-0 Kelowna Lions leading. Caden Ryder gets the ball and runs into his own man, and that's going to cost him. Loss of yardage right there, Tim, for the Outlaws.
Now remember, on that first drive of the game for Victoria, they had a great run. They get about 15 yards. Unfortunately, they turned the ball over. If they can hang on to the ball, stick to what they're good at, smash mouth up the middle, I think they can get to the end zone. They're a good, fast team. A little bit of trouble on that play, but I mean, that's why you have 3 tries, right? It happens.
Caden Ryder lost 5 yards on that last play. So 2nd and 15 for Victoria on its own 11. Ryder again swings it out himself and is knocked down. And again, loss of yardage again. So some frustration being shown here by Caden Ryder.
And Aiden Vint, the tight end and linebacker for Kelowna, bursting through that offensive line. We got a timeout called by Victoria. He just wants to settle his boys down.
8:15 on the clock, and probably saw some of that frustration on the field by his team. So good time to maybe slow the pace of the game down here as you're hemmed in your own zone. What do you do from here?
Well, you stick to your running play. How did you get here in the first place? We talked about that in the first opening games. The opening drive of this game, they handed it off to number 52, Jackson Reed. He pounded up the middle, or 43, pardon me, Cole Bunting. He had a great run and fortunately turned it over. I would go back to Cole. I would go back to Ryder. Keep it up the middle and just get those yardage. Get those yards, get those first downs, and just keep marching it up. They're a good team. They're fast. Maybe a little bit tired after just playing against Vanderhoof, against a rested Kelowna team. But they can do it. Their defense is doing it, and I think the offense can do it.
Lions looking to feast maybe on this 3rd and long situation as Ryder's way back, and he's going to just kick this ball away on
play.
3rd down. It's absolutely the smart way. Picked up by Nate Boscheman at about the 28, swings out to his left, has a lot of space. Kelowna's Nate Boscheman is going to bring it in again. Touchdown return by number 7, Nate Boscheman, his 2nd of the game, and just like that, it is 13-0. Sorry, 12-0 as they add another 6, still the convert to come.
And we got an injury timeout with the Victoria player going down. If you look on that replay, Caden Ryder, number 20, he's showing a bit of frustration. He sort of gave up as Boschman was charging around the middle. He just sort of stopped running, sort of threw his hands up. So he's showing a little bit of frustration there, which is not good for Victoria. You need to keep your composure. It's only 12 points. It's only 2 touchdowns. It's not a lot, not a big point spread, and you still have a lot of time left on the clock to play. Keep your composure. Don't get frustrated. When you have undefeated teams like this, you start falling behind, you start losing. You've never done that before. Things start going on in your mind. So Victoria needs to sort of talk to their players and sort of get them settled down and get them in a space where they remind themselves why they're so good. There's big number 52, Jackson Reed, the 2nd time he's been hurt so far. But he's walking off okay, so 3 plays and he'll be back in, without a doubt.
7 minutes and 44 seconds on the clock here as the Lions have opened up a 12-0 lead with the convert to come as we are in the first half of this final PeeWee round-robin game between 2 undefeated teams, Victoria Outlaws and Kelowna Lions. The winner of this game will finish first and get the highest ranking. Right now, Kelowna certainly in the driver's seat as Nate Boscheman's been the story of this game, a couple of touchdowns, and he's going to try for the extra point, and it's not going to be good.
It wasn't a very clean snap, so there wasn't much they can do on there. But they're getting the majors, and that's the important thing. And we got another injured Victoria player down on the field, face down this time. These kids are starting to get a little bit banged up.
So time stops again with another injury. We remind you that this afternoon the Adam round robin will kick off, and same format that we're seeing in this one this morning. Tim?
A little bit odd, though. They have the Adams playing after the PeeWees. They usually start with the younger kids, the 8 and the 9-year-olds first. Then you go to the 10 and the 11s and so on and so on. But I'm sure they had good reason for it, and it really doesn't make too big of a difference here.
And then as the afternoon wears on, it's the junior bantam game, Prince George and West Kelowna. And the medal round, of course, following that. And the big game comes your way this evening, a 7 p.m. kickoff. The Bantam Salmon Arm Chargers taking on the North Langley Bears. Had a chance to call that game last weekend at McLeod Athletic Park in Langley. And I'll tell you one thing. I haven't seen Salmon Arm, but I've seen North Langley, and they are a good team.
North Langley has some very good football. Absolutely a superb program they've got down there. And they produce absolutely amazing football players. They're big, strong, and very, very fast.
Just about set to resume play here as the clock begins its countdown. 6 and change remaining here in the first half as Boschman sends one deep into Victoria territory. And it's picked up by the young number 3, Malik Gagne, as Gagne finds his way up the middle of the field, stops short, maybe about the 24-yard line, and that's where the Outlaws will have it.
And let's see what the Outlaw offense can do. They've had some life in them. A bit of a tough run in the last set of downs they had, but they've got some good players. And it looks like Malik Gagne got a little banged up on that play.
He cut a couple of times to try and avoid some tackles, but the third consecutive man down for the Outlaws will bring time to a halt again, and this time he's just going to carry him off the field.
Well, you got to get the, I don't want to sound callous, but you need to get the clock and the game going. So they'll examine him on the sidelines. I'm sure he's fine. He's a smaller player. He got tackled by a couple of bigger players, maybe drove him into the turf a bit, and leave him a bit of a bruised hip. So hopefully it's nothing more serious than that.
Well, they're going to bring him right to the chair, and he'll get a little bit of attention underneath of the tent on the sidelines. Is number 3, Malik Gagne. We'll hope to see him back in the game shortly as the play clock resumes.
Here they go. Let's get Victoria set up. I'm Victoria. I'm looking at that middle. I've got two good guys in my backfield in number 43, Cole Bunting, and Ryder. And I'm thinking you just charge that middle. Don't get cute. Don't get silly. Caden Ryder, number 20, number 43, Cole Bunting. They've got good speed. They've got good vision. And there they go, charging up the middle.
You called it right there, Tim. It's Ryder to Bunting, but as much as you called the play, Kelowna probably anticipated that, didn't they?
But they still got a couple of yards out of it, So you didn't get nailed in your backfield. You still had some forward motion there. So you get 2 yards in this play, maybe 4 yards on the next, another 4 yards on the next. There's a first down. So doesn't have to be pretty. Doesn't have to be huge yardage every single possession. Just march it, march it, march it.
2nd and 8 now for Victoria. The ball's on the 27-yard line. Victoria Outlaws beating the Vanderhoof Vikings, but they're in a hole here, 12-0 to Kelowna. Handoff Ryder to number 21, Serena Brooks, swings deep and maybe caught in the pocket, but avoids a couple of tackles and does a good job to get away from some pressure, and it would have been even worse for the Outlaws and Serena Brooks if she was knocked down, where originally it looked like she was going to go.
Yeah, but it's the 3rd down and 8 now. Look how much she ran, and she just got back to the line of scrimmage. They've got Victoria has a good smash mouth up the middle running game. Stick to it. It's working for you. You get a few yards here, a few yards there. They keep going to the lateral, getting kind of cute. I'm taking from the shotgun here, looking to pass.
High snap, and
nice.
Caden Ryder will find the receiver, Jackson Reed, number 52, at about the 39-yard line. So that'll move the chains.
A big first down. That's a great play for a team that's not that confident in their passing. And they've got number 52 wide open there, Jackson Reed. Held onto that ball perfectly, and it's around those few extra yards to get that first down.
Oh, they certainly look confident on that play right there as Ryder finds his intended target. So 1st and 10 at the 40.
And suddenly Victoria's moving the ball up the field. Look at that. Kelowna's got a great defense, but Victoria's never say die. From the shotgun again.
Ryder looks, has pressure. He's got to give the ball away, and it's incomplete. Almost picked off there by number 30, Evan Fitchett of Kelowna. Brings up second down.
That was a dangerous play. That was very close to being an interception. If I'm Victoria, I wouldn't get too cute. I'd just stick to that running play. We got an injured player. Looks like another injury timeout. Kids start getting tired. They get a little bit banged up.
You got to you got to remember too, Tim. This is the second of back-to-back games. Some teams handle it differently, don't they?
They certainly do.
Down on the field, the Caden Ryder. So the Outlaws could ill afford to lose Caden Ryder in this football game. Already down 12-0 to the Kelowna Lions with 3:04 left on the clock in this opening half.
And Malik Gagne is still sitting in that chair next to the tent on the sidelines. Hasn't gotten up yet. So he obviously got pretty seriously banged up on that last play when he went down. But I think Victoria's a little bit tired, and that's going to play really well into Kelowna's hands, as Kelowna is a well-rested team after a great game against Vanderhoof. You get tired, you get banged up, the Owies hurt that much more. You know, there are 9 and 10-year-old kids here, or 10 and 11-year-old kids, pardon me. So it's hard to shake it off.
Yeah, the young kids are coming up after this one, and then we'll go right back to the heavy-duty portion of the 2014 Provincials with the junior bantam game and the bantam game later on this evening. So Caden Ryder is going to be moved to the sidelines on his own steam. So this will have a bit of a delay in the schedule here at Hillside, that's for sure, Tim, as the play clock resumes. We're inside the final 3 minutes of the opening half in a 12-0 Kelowna Lions lead.
That's tough for Victoria. He's got to sit out for three downs, and that's half their backfield sitting on the sideline right there. He's on the Gatorade tub.
So we'll see what they can do without Ryder. The toss into the backfield, and it's the diminutive. We've seen him again, Hudson Poppet with the ball. And he moves to his right, but loss of yards there for the Outlaws.
You know, and a lot of lateral running on that play for a loss of yards. Grab that ball and charge forward, and it's tough to get it. It's easy for us to say because we don't have a bunch of orange jerseys coming at us.
Off the sideline comes Jonathan Pye, and going to the sideline, Serena Brooks. So the one change made by Victoria as they face third down.
Here we go. And Victoria running out of options. They got big number 43, Cole Bunting, back there, taken from the shotgun.
It's third down on the 34. And quickly wrapped up by a duo of Lions. And in the thick of things is number 50, Aiden Vint of Kelowna.
Number 50, he's the story on the defense for Kelowna right now. He's been in on a lot of big third down tackles for a loss of yards and turnover on downs. But again, Victoria looking to pass on that play when they have such a strong running game up the middle. I mean, why not go to that? Why not just try and get something every single play?
So probably the better play would have been to kick it away.
Well, I think the better play would have been to try and charge it up the middle. You know,
even on third and long.
I would have, sure. You never know. You get a little bit of daylight in there. Get that lane away.
So the Lions take over on downs. The handoff here to Noah Gross has a little bit of space and now has run out of that space. So second down, short gain here by Kelowna as we're inside the final minute of play in the opening half.
And Kelowna showing that balance attack once again. Suddenly they've got number 83 in their backfield, Noah Gross, who's got some great wheels and perfectly capable of getting that ball up the field. How do you defend against that? You know, you've got just a superb backfield by the Lions. Added on with a passing play, and it's very tough to have a balanced attack against that much potential on the offense.
Maybe part of the thinking by Victoria was not to kick that ball off because they looked at the time. We'll see if Kelowna can do anything with this. It's Noah Gross again on the handoff, cuts up the middle, then cuts back, and is wrapped up immediately by number 21, Serena Brooks, and brought down midfield. And this will bring up the final play of the opening half as Kelowna faces a third down situation.
Great play by Serena Brooks. She's right there in the thick of things. She never took her eye off the guy with the ball and got her arms around him. Just perfect textbook tackling. Arms around the waist and just hold him down. You don't have to be big or strong. You just have to tackle properly to bring down a player twice your size.
3rd and 10, ball on the 27. Kelowna Lions trying to add to their 12-0 lead. Here's Nate Bolsheman on the handoff from Wilson Holland, trying to get to the outside left, and is going to be stopped short here, and a good foot lock by number 18, Hudson Poppet, to make sure Bolsheman wasn't going to get loose down that left wing. And that'll end the opening half of this football game with the Kelowna Lions leading the Victoria Outlaws by a score of 12-0. Winner of this game will get the highest rank as we move into the shootout stages later this afternoon.
And the story on the Kelowna offense, again, number 7, Nate Bolsheman, an 85-yard run to start the game, a shorter run later on in the game to make it 12-0. Not getting those 2-point conversions, but they're getting the majors. And Bolsheman with just unbelievable speed hitting to the corners on those sweeps, and almost impossible to stop him. Like, he's just that much faster than everybody else on the field.
We'll take a short break and come back with more here on VBN Sports. The second half coming up between the Kelowna Lions and the Victoria Outlaws from Hillside Stadium in Kamloops. This is the 2014 9-man BCCFA Provincials. Back in a moment. Welcome back to Hillside Stadium in the interior of Kamloops, located on the grounds of the Thompson Rivers University. Vonnie DeBartolo with you alongside color analyst Tim Amy here on VBN Sports, the 2014 nine-man BCCFA Provincials, as we are moments away from the second half kickoff between the Kelowna Lions and the Victoria Outlaws. Quick recap of that first half. Just saw Nate Boscheman, number 7 for the Kelowna Lions with a long run. Big statement there in the opening goings. He's got some wheels. Originally you had that as a 65, but it's 85, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it's around the 15-yard line when he grabbed that ball and just charged up the field. He has unbelievable speed, matched beautifully by superb blocking. They just give him so much space and so much room on that offensive line. It's almost impossible to stop him. And, of course, in the second one, it was a 26-yard run. So he's got over 100 yards for 2 touchdowns so far in the game.
Good to see Caden Ryder back on the field, as he was helped off the field in the latter stages of that opening half. So he's good to go, and he's a big part of this Victoria Outlaws squad as they're down 12-0, looking for their first points in the game. The winner of this game will have the highest ranked seed and will finish first in the PeeWee round robin.
And so far, that opening seed is Kelowna's Duluth. They're playing just superb football right now.
So, of course, Vanderhoof is set to play immediately following this game. Vanderhoof looking for a win. I mean, they got a step in the right directions in the last play of their last game against this very same Victoria Outlaws squad.
You know, I saw the Vanderhoof players. You can see them running in front of us along the stands here. They got big smiles on their faces, their bags of chips and their pop, and they're having lots of fun. I mean, they may have lost big on 2 games, but they're certainly not showing it in the attitude and demeanor here on the sidelines. They're a bunch of happy kids having a great time, so good for them.
So the teams are coming back on the field for second half action from Hillside Stadium. And it's going to be Victoria accepting the kickoff as Nate Boscheman puts the ball on the tee at the 40-yard line. Boscheman with the 2 touchdowns in the opening half, the difference in this football game. In the backfield for the Outlaws, number 3 Malik Gagne and Luca Bolzanello, and it's going to be Gagne getting that ball. Picks it up at his own 25, has a bit of space to his right, finds the 40, and stops short of the 45. Good little run by number 3 Malik Gagne, who shakes off a tackle there out of bounds, and that's where the Outlaws offense will go to work.
And number 3, Malik Gagne, a small player, but good wheels, good determination. He had some big linemen coming at him there, just did not slow down at all, and just kept pushing forward. So
they officially mark it on the 44, so 1st and 10 at the 44 for Victoria.
And Victoria trying to get a little bit cute on that last drive that they had in the first half, with some passing plays and some lateral plays. I'm expecting them to keep it up the middle. Just keep pushing up the middle. That's what works for them. There you go.
Caden Ryder with the handoff, and up the gut goes number 43, Cole Bunting. Charges up the middle to about the 48.
So it gives them about a 5-yard, 6-yard gain on that play. That's all you need per play. 5 or 6 yards, 4 or 5 yards. Doesn't have to be a lot. That's enough for a first down with the 3-down format.
So second down, and down goes the Outlaws number 12, Bo Nevermont.
And Nevermont ran into a wall of orange on that play. They just stopped him dead in his tracks and pushed him back. But not before he got at least another 3 yards on there. So now it's 3rd and 1. And a quick play like that, just punch it up the middle. You need 1 yard to get a first down. And Victoria's shown they're perfectly capable of just doing that right up the middle.
We'll see if they go back to bunting, and they do. Bunting up the middle has the first down and more as Victoria will move the chains. Good run there by number 43, Cole Bunting.
And there's Victoria going back to that power drive, push forward, smash mouth offense that they're so proud of. Right up the middle. Nothing fancy, nothing crazy, no double reverse handoffs in the backfield. Get it to that running back. They've got size and speed back there. They're using it. Lo and behold, they've got themselves a first down. It's a 1st and 10 at the 39.
Well, they have it at the 41. It's marked at the 41. Flag on the play as Caden Ryder has the ball and swings out to the left flank and tackled by number 7, Nate Boscheman, right at the 35-yard line, but we'll see what the flag indicates.
Yes, that was the 41-yard line, pardon me. We'll see what the penalty is. It was right off the snap, so I'm guessing maybe some illegal motion.
We'll get the call shortly as we near the 3-minute mark of the second half.
Nope, they're picking up the flag, so the play count, so it'll be 2nd down and I think about 4 yards.
So
that's public address announcer Jody LaRocque there.
Go, Jody. Go, Jody.
So 2nd and 4, it looks like. Ball on the 35 for Caden Ryder to work with. A long toss looking for Bunting. Oh, and it just missed him. Incomplete pass there as Bunting looked like he may have got in behind the Lions defense, Tim.
He was in a perfect position, but of course he had to turn around to try and find the ball as it coming charging towards him, a little bit over his head. Had no chance at it. But,
good strong throw by Ryder, though.
Not a half-bad throw by Ryder. Doesn't seem to get a really good grip on the ball. His passes are a little bit wobbly.
3rd and 4.
He certainly has the strength in his arm to get it up the field. There's no question there.
Ball's on the 35. Ryder to Bunting again, looking for some yardage. Is going to be stopped short of the first down, so it's a turnover on downs, and Kelowna's going to have the ball in its own zone, up 12-0 with 15:45 to go here in the second half.
And that's disappointing for Victoria. They had a great drive, moving the ball up the field. They stuck to their game plan. Smash mouth, drive it up the middle. They started getting fancy with the passes and the lateral plays. Turn it over on downs. It's too bad. Still lots of football left to play in this game, over 15.5 minutes left to go.
Difference in this football game, number 7, Nate Boscheman, a couple of touchdown runs in that opening half as Kelowna goes to work from its own 33-yard line.
Listen to those Kelowna fans.
Wilson Holland, the handoff up the middle, nothing going there as number 83, Noah Gross, running back, stopped short. 2nd down coming up for Kelowna.
I think Kelowna's success is on the corners. They've got such great speed on the outside and such great blocking that, the drive up the middle, not so much. But you give it to Boscheman, even number 83, Noah Gross, get them to the corners with that ball, and they can do a lot of damage.
Jackson Reed, Jackson Stapley helping bring down Boscheman there. There's a nice toss.
Oh, beautiful
by
pass.
Wilson Holland, but the pass intended.
Number 34, Tariq Brown, just couldn't keep his hands on it. Beautiful pass, just a perfect spiral, at least 20 yards.
Had some time as Holland goes back and gets off a good throw. It just wasn't picked off there by Tariq Brown.
And Kelowna, with that balanced attack, they've got a great quarterback with a great offensive line, but unfortunately just couldn't keep their hands on the ball for that reception.
3rd and 9 for the Lions. Holland, handoff, Boscheman
to the outside.
Sprints off to his left, avoids a couple of tackles, gets to the 40, and brought down at the 43, maybe the 44. We'll see where they officially mark it. And if he does get to that area, it's good enough for the first down.
He's got a first down on that play. What a fantastic run again by Nate Boscheman, going to the corners. Not so successful right up the middle, but they get to those corners. They have good blocking, unbelievable speed in their backfield, and they can get first down almost every single try.
So Nate does the job again, moves the chains. And it's 1st and 10 at the 44 for Kelowna. Holland moves back, Lots of time looking to his right, and it's going to be well short. Intended receiver was Brown, number 34 on the right side. Second down coming up for Kelowna.
And you know what? Kelowna can afford to take that chance on a first down. They still have 2 more tries. They have a quarterback with a great arm and some pretty decent receivers out there. So why not take a chance on a long pass on first down? You get 2 more tries, and if it fails, you go to either Boschman or number 83, Gross, on either corner. And you're almost guaranteed a first down with those 2.
Second down and 10 to go. On the Lions 44, Holland. This time a handoff once again to Nate Boschman. Flag on the field as Boschman cuts past midfield and leaps and lunges into Victoria territory, but will await the call here. So the indication pointed to the Lions side of things.
Yeah, the legal procedure for the Kelowna Lions is going to bring it back 5 yards.
So tough break there, Tim, for Kelowna, as a good play by Nate Boschman will be negated.
They're 2 yards away from a first down at second down. Now they're about 15 back. So, yeah, that's kind of tough. But let's see what they can do. I mean, they make up 15 yards. That's kind of nothing for this team the way they're playing.
So they move it back to the 39-yard line. It's 2nd and 15, Kelowna. Wilson Holland in the shotgun.
When I see a shotgun play like that, I keep thinking passing play. There you go. He drops back.
To his right, has time looking for someone and decides to hold it. Another flag in the backfield, Tim.
I'm wondering if it's a block from the back. Or a holding. Yeah, no, a holding. Number 82 for Kelowna, Alexander Mace, was looking at the official going, me? So maybe it's a holding call against Kelowna.
So second down just got a little longer.
It's declined.
No, it's going to be declined, so third down.
So it brings up a 3rd and long for Kelowna.
So 3rd and 15, as indicated there by Jody Larocque, our public address announcer here at Hillside Stadium.
And if Victoria's tired, their defense isn't showing it. They're actually showing up in this game and playing. They've given up 2 touchdowns, fair enough. But they've done their job in trying to contain a very potent, very balanced.
Tough snap.
Tries to kick it away.
That's Wilson Holland, who couldn't get that snap. Really, as they try to kick it away, they eventually do. But the Lions get rid of it somehow, but it stays in their own zone as we approach the midway mark of this second half. 12-0 Kelowna leading, and Victoria going back on the offense, and they'll begin at the 46-yard line.
So they marked the ball where the ball hit the turf after the kick. So they're setting up about the 46-yard line, which gives pretty decent field position to Victoria. Victoria's defense or offense, brilliant up the middle, not so much on the pass.
Here's Ryder, high snap, will just slide it to his right to Cole Bunting, who gets maybe a loss of yardage on that play. It's going to bring up 2nd and 11 possibly, Tim.
Exactly what it's brought up. Again, you know, I talked to the coaches for Victoria before the first game. Oh, we got a great smash mouth defense. We love driving it up the middle. Stick to it. It's working for you. Any yardage gains they've had, with the exception of 1 passing play, has been made by running it up the middle. You've got a great backfield, big, strong, fast players. Here they go.
Bunting again off the handoff from Ryder, and this time brought down by a trio of Lions as he gets to the 40-yard line. So a 7-yard gain there for the Outlaws. We'll bring it up possibly 3rd and 3, maybe 4. We'll see where they officially mark it.
And they stuck to their game plan there. They stuck to the formula that works for them. Keep it on the ground, run it up the middle.
So 3rd and 5 officially on the 41 with 8:35 and counting. Ryder, fake handoff's going to keep himself, try to get to the outside, wants a block, and now he's going to cut back and falls down well short of the first down. So the Outlaws will turn the ball over.
And that's a really blown opportunity for the Outlaws right there. They had decent field position on the last turnover and downs by their defense. And they just simply couldn't get anything going to get another first down, just to march that ball closer to the end zone.
Caden Ryder's looking at Malik Gagne saying, hey, where were you in front of me there? I had a lion closing in on me, and you were kind of just following me there. So Malik Gagne needed to step into the pocket there ahead of Ryder to try and get him to get to the outside a little bit more.
It's a team sport. No one person can do it. You know, it's not like hockey with Mario Lemieux going end-to-end rushes.
Oh, a little hockey terminologies. You bring that in, eh, Tim?
Well, we are playing in Canada after all.
Here's Wilson Holland. Short pass is good for number 50, Aiden Vint, who gets to the sidelines. So Vint on a pass completion there from Wilson Holland. Well, won't get the first down, but close to it.
Very close to it. You know, that play, it wasn't pretty, but it got the job done. I mean, that's a good 8-yard gain on a pitch out as the quarterback was getting swarmed, grabbed by the receiver or the tight end in traffic who held onto it just enough. They're now 2 yards away from a first down on this drive.
Brought down by Jackson Stapley of the Outlaws.
It's only second down, so.
1 yard they need on the 49. Holland, handoff. Once again, Noah Gross to the outside, has some room, has some space, still going, wants a tackle, avoids that one, has a chance to bring it in. Here's Noah Gross in behind it. He's going to bring it into the house. Touchdown, Kelowna. Noah Gross, as he avoided a couple of tackles down the right flank and all by himself created time and space, and the Lions have opened up an 18-0 lead.
Just a superb run. I counted at least 3 different Victoria players that could have brought him down, Jonathan Pye being one of them in the backfield. They simply couldn't get a hand on him. He broke through 2 tacklers along the sidelines at about the 20-some-odd yard line and just didn't give up. He just kept pushing and pushing. And Noah Gross with just some superb speed there going in for the major.
Nate Boscheman will try for the 2-point convert here. It's up, and it's good. 20-0. Kelowna leads with 5:55 and counting left here in the second half. So the Lions well on their way to getting the highest ranking, and a Victoria Outlaws team faces the possibility of playing a 3rd consecutive game against Vanderhoof, who, as you mentioned, is well rested now. So we'll see if they might be able to take advantage of that situation, of course, should it arise. Still plenty of football to come here. Clock is counting, though, so time becoming the enemy of the Outlaws if they want to try and get back in this game. It's a tall hill to climb
Against a very balanced Victoria defense. So I'm guessing Victoria, maybe they had a long travel schedule yesterday coming on the ferry all the way from the island into the interior. I mean, you got an hour-and-a-half ferry ride alone.
Short kick there is picked up by Jonathan Pye right around midfield. So 1st and 10 for the Outlaws as Pye grabs that kick and falls to his knees. 4:44 and counting on the clock, and the Victoria offense will try and get stuff going quickly.
If I was Victoria, I would just keep that ball on the ground up the middle. Just keep pounding the middle. Like, don't give up. Get those short yardage plays. Just do it, do it, do it. Get some points on the board here. I don't know if they can salvage this game, but to get a few points on there, keep their defense a little bit rested, because the defense has been on a lot, and they're getting a little bit tired. And depending on how the coin cost goes from that shootout, pardon me. Sorry, I'm losing my terminology here.
Jacob Dorr races on the field here. We'll get back to the action as a flag is on the play as the handoff goes to Cole Bunting, who thrusts up the middle.
There you go. I mean, I don't know how the flag who the penalty's against, but they certainly got themselves up the field. Let's see what the officials say here.
All right, we have no flag. We'll take the play. So it was a 6-yard run, so it would be 2nd and 4.
Nice. A nice 6-yard run up the middle, what they're good at, what their bread and butter is. It's right into their wheelhouse, and they need to give their defense some time to rest as Vanderhoof sort of warms up and gets ready to play for the shootout.
Ryder again, a toss back and a flag again, and this time it's going to be on the Outlaws.
Right off the snap, so I'm guessing it's an offside.
Go back 5 yards. So it'll be 2nd down and 8.
So we're nearing 3 minutes left on the clock.
They want to eat up a bit of time there. Just give their defense a little bit of time to rest. Undoubtedly, they will. Victoria will be taking on Vanderhoof in that shootout early going. So just let the defense rest a bit. Just keep the ball on the field. Keep marching up.
Ryder to Bunting up the middle again, and he's met up by a whole bunch of orange-clad Lions who gets him taken down to the field.
Not a bad run. Up the middle, a 6-yard carry, or about a 5-yard carry around there. So 3rd and 5, not bad. I think they can get 5 yards on the next carry if they stick to their game plan and stay off those corners and keep it up the middle.
3rd and 5 on the 45 as Ryder's in the shotgun. Snap. He's going to throw the ball. Intended receiver is number 52, Jackson Reed, and it is picked off, Tim Amy, by the Kelowna Lions. And that'll pretty well salt this game away right there as Ryder is picked off looking for Jackson Reed.
And I think it was Nate Boscheman showing up on the defense this time round with just a great interception there to, like you said, just cement this game for Kelowna.
So they'll take the ball over on their own 31, 1st and 10 with a $1.50 left in this one. Kelowna will retain the highest seed as the handoff right there to number 34, Brown, up the middle, has some room. Brown keeps going. Is he going to avoid all the tackles? Yes, he is. Brown is going to race all the way into the end zone. Last dash attempt. Oh, what a beautiful tackle there by Caden Ryder. Where did he get that extra gear from? Ryder comes out of nowhere and says, I don't think so.
And that was a great play by Caden Ryder. Look at that. Doesn't give up. He brushed off one tackle, digs deep. Look at past his own player. Look at that. Just never say die. Fantastic. Just a hand on that ankle. Just enough to haul him down.
Puts it into a whole different gear right there. Number 20, Caden Ryder.
Superb.
In deer-like fashion, tracks him down.
It was the hunter and the hunted.
So under 40 left on the clock. Here's Holland. Handoff again. To the left side, it's Noah Gross.
Beautiful.
Touchdown again, Noah Gross. And it's 26-0 for Kelowna as they continue to chalk up points. And they have yet to give up points in this 2014 Provincials as well, Tim. So that's another thing that we'll talk about as this goes on for the Kelowna Lions, as we have an injured Outlaw down on the field. The 2-point convert to come. They've stopped the clock at 13. And we'll see the Vanderhoof Vikings taking on the Victoria Outlaws in the first game of the shootout. And Tim will get you caught up with how that's going to shake down momentarily.
And I tell you, offense sells tickets, championships, or defense wins championships, and Kelowna is showing absolutely amazing defense in this tournament. And you're pretty hard-pressed to beat them in the shootout. You're going to have 3 tries at 25 yards in to score. Nobody's done that yet. And then you have to try and keep Noah Gross or Nate Boscheman out of the end zone when they get their turn of the ball. So good luck to Vanderhoof and Victoria on that play.
So it's a 2-man show, it seems like. A couple of touchdowns for Nate Boscheman, a couple of touchdowns for Noah Gross, Tim.
You only need a couple of really quick players and some good blocking, and you have an offense in, PeeWee and Adam football. Really, that's all you need. And Kelowna has shown that brilliantly. They've got a passing game to boot, and they've got a great defensive line that just shuts down everybody else's offense. And they're a very tough team to beat.
So still down on the field, the injured Outlaw. So what are we going to expect here as we got a little bit of time here for the shootout?
What you're going to see setting up on the 25-yard line, and I don't think Vanderhoof is going to go to a passing play. I think they're going to try and get it to one of their speedier players and just get them just that ounce of room to get it through. As long as you score a touchdown, you're doing okay because you can prevent a touchdown. The kicking game isn't all that solid on any of these teams, so they're going to want to try and get the major. Kelowna has a bit of an advantage. They can pass it. They have a pretty good arm. But if I'm Vanderhoof, just get that ball to your smaller player and boom, through the uprights.
The injured Outlaw has been escorted to the sideline and going right to the tent as the two-point convert is about to be taken here by the Lions on the final play of this football game.
And let's see if Nate Boschman's foot can do as well as his feet in this game, as he's run in for several touchdowns so far in this tournament, 2 in this game. And here he comes.
Here's the kick. Lots of time. It's
Great
good.
job. Perfect.
That makes it 28-0 in favor of Kelowna, and that's your official final in this football game. So the Vanderhoof Vikings will take on the Victoria Outlaws in the first shootout game coming up momentarily here on VBN Sports.
And, you know, Vanderhoof had a bye for the second game of this tournament, so they had some time to sort of relax and forget about how the games went and, you know, eat some chips and some pop and run around a bit and sort of explore and have a bit of fun. So they're going to be kind of loose. They're going to be relaxed. And I would give them a bit of an advantage over Victoria. Victoria beat them pretty handily in the round-robin game. But Victoria just got banged up a bit. Their confidence is going to be a little bit sapped, and they're tired. They played 2 games in a row. Now they're playing a third. And again, it's just 3 tries off the 25-yard line. Anything can happen. And if you can just punch through that defense enough to get it in.
Now you're saying the 25-yard line. They're saying the 20-yard line.
Oh, is it the 20-yard line? Pardon me.
But the shootout rules for the Atom, as it says on the official rules here, does start on the 20. But of course, these are the PeeWees. I don't know if it's the same one or not.
Yeah. It's either the 20 or the 25, one of the two. But, I mean, basically, you're in the red zone close enough with 3 tries to score. And it can be a touchdown, it can be a field goal, and if you miss the field goal, the defensive team can run it back the full length of the field and score.
We'll sort it all out when we come back to Hillside Stadium. We'll step aside for a break. What we do know for sure, though, the Kelowna Lions defeating the Victoria Outlaws by a score of 28-0. They have finished with the highest seed, and they will face the winner of the Outlaws and the Vanderhoof Vikings for the right to hoist the 2014 9-man BC CFA Provincial Championship here in Kamloops. Back with more in just a moment. I'm Vonnie DeBartolo alongside Tim Amy here on VBN Sports. offense first will be number 20, Caden Ryder in the Outlaws, as Cole Bunting gets the handoff and is wrapped up at about the 15, maybe the 14. We'll see where they mark it.
So round one starts on the 20-yard line. You're facing the scoreboard, obviously. The score is still tied. Play starts on the 10-yard line for round two. Team on the offense in the last round. The last team gets to choose whether it want to be offense or defense. So basically they're getting 3 tries to score here. If they don't score.
Here's the handoff again. Bunting again has some time and space, cuts back to the middle, goes to the right side, and Bunting will bring it in for the touchdown. Nice. So on the first drive of the shootout, it's the Victoria Outlaws' second possession, putting themselves up 6-0. So Tim, now do they do the extra convert here? I believe they will.
They will.
But now Vanderhoof has to match that.
Vanderhoof has to match that if they want to push it to round two. So they're going to go for the 2-point convert here. So Vanderhoof can score a touchdown, but they missed their 2-point convert on their turn.
Jackson Reed to hold the ball for Caden Ryder. Here's the snap, there's the hold, and it's not going to be taken off in time. So the score will sit as 6-0 for the Victoria Outlaws, and now it's a chance for the Vanderhoof Vikings.
There was a flag on the play.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens.
Offside on Vanderhoof, so we'll move it up 5 yards, and Victoria will be given another chance to convert this.
Yeah, so Victoria gets in. It's almost like you're playing an actual game. You're just starting on the 20-yard line with 3 tries to try and score.
So Ryder has a second life here, and we'll see if they can make hay of this one as they move it closer to the uprights.
Nice.
There's a snap, and again, another flag.
Another flag on the play. We have looks like another offside on Vanderhoof.
And this is important, Tim, because if you can stop this and then maybe get one of your own to try and get those 2 points, you might be able to steal the win.
You can steal the win. They can very much steal the win. I mean, Vanderhoof didn't win a game in this tournament, but if they win in the shootouts, they can win the championship.
We'll do it again for the third time.
See if Vanderhoof behaves on this one. Here we go.
They're trying to get the jump on the snap. Reed holds. Here's the kick, and it's blocked nicely. Blocked there by number 16, Taden Jacobson. And the score will sit at 6-0 for Victoria. So this is key now, Tim, because now the Vikings offense will come onto the field from the 20-yard line. They must put it through into the end zone. And then if they can convert themselves, they can come away.
They can, and that's kind of the irony of this this format. Is that the team that didn't win a thing can walk away with the championship, and here they are lining up.
Okay, so Vanderhoof to the 20-yard line, and we're set to go. Jacobson, quick handoff here, and it's number 31, Bridger Jensen, laterally to his left, and he's going to be taken down here by number 43 on the left side of your screen, Cole Bunting. A loss of yardage on that one will bring up second down.
And here's the Vikings. Setting up, they need to get a major. If they don't get a major, it's over for them. So
they got a couple of cracks at it here, Tim. We'll see what they can do. Tatum Jacobson, handoff here to number 30, Justin Gulbranson. Again, they keep moving to their right laterally, but they're not sealing out the rush attack from the opposition, and Victoria is allowed to kind of close in on them and continue to push them back, or at least hold them to the line of scrimmage. So here's the last play possibly of the season for the Vanderhoof Vikings. They need 14 yards to create a first down play. It's 3rd and 14 from the 24. Jacobson slides back, has pressure again, avoids it, breaks through.
Nice.
Here's Tatum Jacobson. He throws this time, and it's not going to be good. It's intended for Justin Gulbranson. That'll signal the end of this game, so the Victoria Outlaws will get a chance to play for the 2014 BCCFA Provincial Championship against the Kelowna Lions, and that will come up very shortly here. Okay, so we've sorted out what's going on here at Hillside Stadium. It will be the Kelowna Lions facing the Victoria Outlaws, and likely in about 5 minutes' time, and it'll be the shootout version again. So these two teams will battle it out from the 20-yard line to determine the 2014 BCCFA Provincial Champion. Tim, quick thoughts before we break?
Advantage Kelowna. They're arrested once again against a Victoria team that was just on the field, and they've a very balanced attack, and I'm looking for Nate Boschman, number 7, to get it given that ball and just march it into the end zone.
So Kelowna makes its way to the near sidelines below our broadcast booth as the Victoria Outlaws are already on the field, so I'm not sure if they're going to break at all here. We may start fairly quickly, so we'll stick with our broadcast here on VBN Sports. Glad to have you on board with us. It's the 9-man 2014 BCCFA Provincials from Kamloops. Vonnie DeBartolo alongside Tim Amy, bringing you all the action here.
Now we got a lot of football to be played today. The last game between Victoria and Kelowna took a few extra minutes due to the injury timeouts. Of course, nobody's fault. So we're on a bit of a tight schedule, so they want to get this started as quickly as possible as Victoria takes the field. There'll be an offense for the first possession here.
Kelowna will be on offense.
That's correct, the Lions.
So the Lions, the higher seed, will go to work on offense first from the 20-yard line. It'll be the quarterback, Wilson Holland, will set up in the shotgun. We'll see what they can do here. Kelowna's known for first drive offensive points, and we'll see if they can do something here as the Outlaws did the damage on their first drive, second play, and we're off.
There's Boschman, number 7, with the ball.
Up the middle, Nate Boschman finds some space and is brought down there by number 43, nice. Cole Bunting.
And he's got, of course, Mr. Boschman, Mr. Gross, and Tariq Brown in his backfield. So it's a 3-pronged attack for Kelowna, as they're probably going to keep the ball on the ground for this. There's the Boschman.
They're inside the 10.
As he creeps over. Oh, off to Gross.
Wilson Holland, the handoff here for Noah Gross, who moves to his right, then goes to his left. Lots of space here for Noah Gross, and he's going to bring it in. Touchdown for the Lions. Great play there on the reverse angle by Noah Gross.
You know what? He was trying to go right side, ran into a brick wall, turned around and went left side and marched it right in. It's almost like he did it on purpose to draw the entire defense over to the one side of the field so he can turn around and head back with that amazing speed of his. And we got an injured player on the field from Victoria.
And you can see the sideline here of the Kelowna Lions trying to get the crowd pumped up here.
That's pretty cute.
They're certainly feeling it right now. The Lions with the advantage. They're up 6-0 with the convert to come. As off to the sideline goes number 94, Justice Cox, who was shaken up a little bit on the play. And coming on to replace him, number 75, Jacob Dorr.
And here we go.
So for the 2 points will be Nate Boschman.
And Kelowna's had trouble with those 2-point conversions so far. Let's see what they can do. And what a time to get it. What a time to get it. Fantastic.
So it's 8-0 in favor of Kelowna. Victoria must match. As opportunity knocks for them, it's do or die for the Outlaws.
It certainly is, and they've got their work cut out for them with that amazing Kelowna defense. They're just absolutely fantastic.
So it's Caden Ryder's turn to bring his offense onto the field on the 20-yard line as the Outlaws form the huddle. We'll see what they can do. They break on the offense as Ryder goes right up. So Ryder fakes the handoff, looks. He's going to pass. Intended receiver is number 12, Bo Nevermont, and it was almost picked off there. Nevermont, the intended target, and second down coming up.
And Boschman's showing his prowess on defense. That was him almost stealing that ball midair. It bounced off his helmet. He simply didn't know where the ball was. But a nice pass by Victoria. They had it in the right direction. He had some good English on it, so let's see what they can do. It's do or die time for Victoria now. They've got to be feeling the pressure.
2nd and 10. Ryder in the shotgun. There's the snap. Ryder looks to his left. Pressure by the Lions, and he's knocked down. Good defense shown there as they quickly come off the line, and the Lions forcing the hands now of the Victoria Outlaws. 3rd and 10.
And if any of those PeeWee players on Kelowna were tall enough, they'd be reaching for the Gatorade jug right now to douse their coach, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Don't count your chickens yet, buddy.
They're pretty high. They're looking pretty excited on that sideline. Those kids are jumping up and down, and they're
potentially the final play of the game and of the tournament for the PeeWees. Ryder, accept it. High throw, looking for Nevermont, and it's incomplete. And the Kelowna Lions are the 2014 BCCFA Provincial Champions with an 8-0 win here in the shootout.
What a great game. You know, they played an amazing tournament. Played an absolutely amazing tournament. It would be a little bit disappointing if they didn't win. And good on Kelowna. They did not concede a single point in this entire tournament. Their defense was just absolutely outstanding.
Good point, too.
And an absolutely fantastic two-pronged offense between Nate Boschman and Noah Gross to score those touchdowns. Just a great organization in Kelowna, showing up and playing, you know, a clean game, not a lot of penalties, no dirty hits. I mean, there's obviously the odd offside here and there, but a really class act by Kelowna in this tournament to take it. Congratulations, Kelowna.
So the Kelowna Lions are the 2014 BCCFA champions for the 9-man Provincials, defeating the Victoria Outlaws. But it was a great morning here at Hillside Stadium. Once again, congratulations to Kelowna. Congratulations to the Victoria Outlaws and, of course, the Vanderhoof Vikings. The top 3 teams meeting here in Kamloops in the final stage as the Kelowna Lions shaking hands with the Vanderhoof Vikings as well. They'll be shaking hands with the Victoria Outlaws. And lots of fun down on the field. They're jacked up, certainly, for this one. The young guys are coming up next. It's the Adam Round Robin, and the first game comes your way. It'll be the Prince George Marauders taking on the Kelowna Lions next on VBN Sports. Myself, Vonnie DeBartolo, alongside Tim Amy, will have the call coming up at the bottom of the hour. Stay tuned. This is VBN Sports, the coverage of the 2014 9-man BCCFA Provincials from Kamloops.